is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning. Road repairs on New Providence underway. Police reporting another armed robbery and sex assault. And the opposition wants fairness in citizenship grants. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's here. It's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Tuesday, July 18th, 2023. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, my co-host, Duquesa Dean, will be joining us this morning. And later, we're going to get details about the annual Jeff Rogers basketball camp. And a lot to talk about in business as well. That's all ahead. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning.
End of the old way.
In the overnight, police reporting another armed robbery and sexual assault in New Providence. Police say that around 9:54 a.m. yesterday, while on the outside of a friend's residence in the area of Cowpen Road, a woman was approached by an unknown man who robbed her at gunpoint of an undisclosed amount of cash and sexually assaulted her. The woman's age not given. The suspect then entered the home and robbed the male resident of an undisclosed amount of cash and his cell phone. The suspect fled in the area. Police say aggressive investigation is underway in the matter. Sex crimes have remained a major concern, particularly in New Providence, throughout the year. Last Thursday, the Bahamas Crisis Center appealed to policymakers to do what needs to be done to ensure the accountability of sex offenders. The call coming after recent sex crimes were reported, including 2 separate cases of assault of elderly women. The Ministry of Works engaging 12 contractors to repair the poor roads throughout New Providence. Senior Civil Engineer Francis Clark confirming this yesterday, saying many of the roads on the island deteriorated due to a more active rainy season in June and July. He says conditions hindered road repair efforts, with ponding and wet areas compromising the quality of the repairs, resulting in larger potholes and road edge erosion. He says that within the last week, though, fair weather has resumed and the ministry has been able to resume repairing roads on the island. In addition to pothole repairs, the ministry is resurfacing East Street and Balfour Avenue, East Street and Cordo Avenue, Carmichael Road, and Musical Avenue and Windsorfield Road by Charlottesville. Though the opposition's bid to have established an immigration select committee in the House Assembly was soundly defeated in February, FNM leader Michael Pintard is renewing that call, insisting that there is a critical need for greater transparency with respect to immigration matters, including citizenship grants. Pintard says there's a need for such a committee tasked with ensuring that Bahamian citizenship is granted fairly and in a timely manner to deserving applicants. He made the statement yesterday as he sought to keep alive the controversy that surrounded Immigration Minister Keith Bell and his decision to swear in a mother and her children as citizens at their father's funeral last month. Bell said that the decision to approve the applications was made by the Immigration Board, the Cabinet, and as such the approvals were legally granted. Pintard yesterday making a number of other claims against Bell in relation to his work as immigration minister, but provided no evidence to support his claims that Bell has acted inappropriately. In court news, a businessman remanded to prison after being accused of rape. Prosecutors say 32-year-old Clyson Beckford raped a 22-year-old woman whom he knows at Long Wharf Beach on April 3rd, 2023. Beckford was not required to enter a plea to the charge when he appeared before Acting Chief Magistrate Roberto Reckley. Since the magistrate lacks the jurisdiction to consider bail for the offense, Beckford was remanded into custody. He can, though, apply for bail in the Supreme Court. He's scheduled to return to court on October 3rd to receive a voluntary bill of indictment. And police charging three men who carried out a robbery spree. 27-year-old Leroy Estime and 36-year-old Irvin Moxie are accused of the murder and attempted armed robbery of Escanil Dudu earlier this year. The men are accused of shooting Dudu during a robbery attempt on January 25th. He died as a result of the shooting on March 15th. Estime is also accused of robbing Verlian Louise of $8,000 at gunpoint on February 14th. Estime is accused of robbing Renite Julmuste of $600 and an iPhone 7 valued at $400 on the same date. The robbery happened in the domestic parking lot of the Lyndon Pinling International Airport. Prosecutors further say that Estime and Ferro Senat entered a woman's dumping ground corner home and robbed her of $4,000 while posing as policemen on June 20th. Estime is also accused of robbing Jean-Bien Aimé of a suitcase filled with clothes on June 27th. The incident happened at Winders Terrace. Moxie is accused of robbing three Haitian nationals of cash as they prepared to travel to Haiti on July 4th. He's also accused of robbing Morcilil Polycarp of $9,000 and two Haitian passports, Alande de Lusma of $3,000, and Jacob Prenilis of a 2009 Toyota Isis. Moxie was also charged with arson after the car was burned down. Overseas, the United States deploying a nuclear-armed submarine to South Korea today for the first time in 4 decades, as the Allies warned North Korea that any use of the North's nuclear weapons in combat would result in the end of its regime. Periodic visits by U.S. nuclear ballistic missile-capable submarines to South Korea were one of several agreements reached by the two countries' presidents in April in response to North Korea's expanding nuclear threat. They also agreed to establish a bilateral nuclear consultative group and expand military exercises. The USS Kentucky and Ohio-class submarine arrived at the South Korean port of Busan Tuesday afternoon. South Korea's defense ministry confirming this. It's the first visit by a U.S. nuclear-armed submarine to South Korea since the 1980s. South Korea's defense minister calling the submarine's visit a demonstration of U.S. resolve in implementing its extended deterrence commitment, a pledge by the U.S. to use its full military capabilities, including nuclear weapons, to protect its allies. He said the submarine's visit shows the allies' overwhelming capability and posture against North Korea. And Spain's general election on Sunday could make the country the latest European Union member to swing to the populist right, a shift that would represent a major upheaval after 5 years under a left-wing government. Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez calling the early election after the Spanish Socialist Workers' Party and its small far-left coalition partner, United We Can, took a beating in local and regional elections. The center-right Popular Party emerged from the May 28th elections with the most votes. Polls for the general election have consistently put the PP in first place, but likely needing support from the far-right Vox Party to form a government. Such a coalition would return a far-right force to the Spanish government for the first time since the country transitioned to democracy following the 1975 death of General Francisco Franco, the dictator who ruled Spain for nearly 40 years. In sports, the Bahamas once again showing its might in athletics, winning the overall title at the NACAC, the North American, Central American, and Caribbean Athletics Association under 13 and under 15 age group in Santiago de los Caballeros in Dominican Republic over the weekend. The Bahamas repeated as NACAC age group champions, winning the overall team competition with 27,984 points. Jamaica was second, finishing with 27,043 points. Cuba rounding out the top three, finishing with 26,641. In the under 13 girls pentathlon, the Bahamas came out on top, scoring 5,411 points. Jamaica was second. Host nation Dominican Republic coming out third. In the under 13 boys pentathlon, Cuba took the top spot, but the Bahamas was second, Barbados coming in third. The Bahamas finishing third in both the under 15 girls and under 15 boys heptathlon as well. Read more about how the team did in today's Guardian Sports section. In spite of the sport being suspended internationally, the Bahamas Bodybuilding Wellness and Fitness Federation National Championships will go on. They're scheduled for Saturday, July 22nd, from 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. at the University of the Bahamas Performing Arts Center Auditorium. BBWFF President Joel Stubbs saying at a press conference yesterday that quite a number of the country's top amateurs, even some professionals, will be in action. The event is being dubbed the Battle of the Best and will take place in 3 segments: Novice, Nationals, and Open category. Read more about it in today's Guardian Sports section. And over 200 athletes are set to compete in the 2023 Babe Ruth Baseball Caribbean Championship and 16 Under Invitational, set to get underway this weekend at the Blue Hills Sporting Complex and the Andre Rogers National Baseball Stadium. The Bahamas will field teams in the 12 and under division, which is a qualifying outlet for the Cal Ripken Major 70 Series, the World Series at the Ballparks of America in Branson, Missouri, later this summer. Bahamas will also compete in the Invitational 16 and under division that will feature teams from the region, the United States, and as far away as Europe. The local tournament, in which the Bahamas won both divisions at home last year, will run from July 20th through 24th. More details in today's Guardian Sports section. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Your first look at weather brought to you by Nescafe Coffee. Here's what's happening. We've got troughing across the country in combination with a moist and unstable air mass and the northern extent of a western moving tropical wave that's pushing through the southeast Bahamas. So all of this will support shower and thunderstorm activity across the islands today. Meanwhile, a surface ridge of high pressure extending across the area will generate moderate to fresh breezes through tonight as well. A number of warnings. Beachgoers in the central and southeast Bahamas should be alert for rip currents along east and south coast beaches, and boaters should be alert for potential waterspouts. And everybody, again, being advised to stay hydrated and limit outdoor periods in the sun during peak sunlight hours, as heat indices will be in the triple digits again. We've had a long stretch of this, and it's going to continue for the foreseeable future. For all areas, your forecast today calling for partly cloudy with occasionally cloudy periods, warm and humid, but breezy in the central and southeast Bahamas, widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Some showers will be locally heavy and thunderstorms strong to severe at times. Small craft caution will come into effect for the central Bahamas and an advisory for the southeastern islands. Boaters can expect gusty winds and higher seas in or near showers and thunderstorms. Winds southeasterly at 10 to 15 knots in the northwest Bahamas, east to southeast at 15 to 20 knots in the central, and 15 to 25 knots in the southeast Bahamas. Seas 2 to 4 feet in the northwestern islands, 4 to 6 feet in the central islands, but 5 to 8 feet in the southeast Bahamas. Temperature-wise, right now it's about 84 degrees, fair skies. We're looking at highs getting up to 93 Fahrenheit, 34 Celsius, but the heat index will make it feel like it's 107 Fahrenheit, 41 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to 80 Fahrenheit, 27 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have an extended outlook and a look at the tropics coming up after traffic in just a bit. Your weather check brought to you by Nescafe Coffee. Elevate your coffee experience with Nescafe Gold. It's time for a break, but when we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9, your home for fresh news and smart talk all day.
Don't let go of your chance to win big with Alive on 700 Wines and Spirits. We've got an exclusive promotion just for you. Purchase 3 or more refreshing Click Rattlers and pair them with our Freedom 12 plan or higher at 700 Wines and Spirits. To enter the contest, simply write your name and phone number on the front of your receipt. Then snap a photo of your receipt and WhatsApp it to 242-805-7511. This promotion ends July 31st, 2023. Terms and conditions apply. Alive. Believe in best.
The Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center is here to help small businesses throughout the entire Bahamas. To better serve you, we've made it easier to contact us. Call 461-7232, WhatsApp 359-0626 or 359-2394, email helpdesk@spdcbahamas.com, or submit a ticket when you visit our help center at accessaccelerator.org. The Access Accelerator, empowering small business.
A lot of folks are wondering, what is the Agrarian Awards? It's an award show to celebrate the people who produce the food that feeds the country. So September 16th, we're giving out trophies and money to young farmers, backyard farmers, sheep runners, goat herders, pea pickers, onion planters, basically everyone. But we couldn't fit all that on the invite, so we put Agrarian Awards instead. Go to adobahamas.org to find out how to nominate your favorite agrarian. The Agrarian Awards, September 16th.
There's a new electric vehicle in town, the Jack brand of SUVs, trucks, sedans, and commercial vans, available only at Easy Car Sales, home of the fully electric vehicle. For a powerful, smooth ride at a fraction of the cost to drive, leave the pump behind and hit the road with Jack. Visit easy242.com to see our brand new Jack models and drop into Easy Car Sales for a test drive. It'll have you singing. Hit the road with Jack, and don't you pump gas no more.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
My business couldn't survive without my credit card machine from Fidelity. It's fast, convenient, and my clients love it. My sales increased, and I can track my earnings. Get your credit card machine from Fidelity today. Call 356-7764.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, It's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Revolution. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me again, we've got Duquesa Dean. Duquesa, I think we're going to make this official, right? You're part of the team now, part of the Morning Blend team.
Thank you so much.
Great to have you with us.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
All right, wonderful stuff. Got a lot to talk about today, a lot happening in the news, but also we're going to be talking with Jeff Rogers. His annual, this has been going on for years now, basketball camp is back, and we'll get details about this year's camp this morning. And in business, a lot of interesting business news. We're going to get into that, including concerns about downtown, what's being said about what to do downtown. It's something we talk about often here on the show, but we'll get into what the latest is this morning. So that's all ahead, but let's begin with what else is in the news. And in the news, boy, it's happened again. Now this is becoming a multiple times a week story. Sex assaults during robberies or break-ins, and a very disturbing trend. Police yesterday reported another armed robbery and sexual assault. They say that it happened around 9:54 a.m. Broad daylight, as they say, right? While on the outside of a friend's residence in the area of Cowpen Road, a woman was approached by an unknown man who robbed her at gunpoint of an undisclosed amount of cash and then sexually assaulted her. The woman's age was not given. The suspect then entered the home and robbed a male resident of an undisclosed amount of cash and his cell phone and fled the area. This is the latest in a line of similar incidents. The most recent involving women in their 80s after suspects entered their home and sexually assaulted them.
Yeah.
And, of course, we talked about it last week, the Crisis Center making an appeal for lawmakers to do something to send a stronger message, to establish that sex offender registry, to do something to show that this is not going to be tolerated. But here we are again.
Yeah, and we spoke last week that without consequences, there really is no change. You know, and you're in the safety of your home, or in the instance of this young lady, a friend's home, and where you believe you're safe, but you're really not, even just sitting outside. So it's now becoming more and more important for us as citizens to, I guess, do whatever we can to protect ourselves from being vulnerable.
But this is crazy. This is not 9:54.
No, this is like first thing in the morning. Not
even first thing. This is the sun is up and hot.
Yep. Yeah. So I guess, Dwight, crime happens any time, and I think we need to be aware of that. It's not just at night when we're sleeping.
Absolutely.
It's in the broad daylight. So, yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah. Wow. Let's get your opinion on this, folks. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Wow. So everybody needs to be paying attention, right? Make sure you have your windows and locks, your doors secured, and be very careful. Daytime, pay attention to who's around, who's walking about, who's driving by. People are watching. People are watching you. They are noticing everything. They notice more than you notice.
Correct.
And they know your patterns. They know when you like to go walking and running and when you go and pick up whoever and who comes to see you. They know it all.
Yeah, they watch.
And they use that to their advantage.
Yeah. Do you remember a time when women, and I guess not just women, everyone were taking around pepper sprays? That was like, I think I was in my teenage years at that particular point in time, but everyone walked around with pepper sprays, and I'm not sure that we're still that cognizant of the fact that
you don't do it anymore?
No, I don't, but I need to start again. I need to start it. And then, I like to believe that I'm safe at home because I'm pretty much a homebody. But this is just also a reminder that we still need to be cautious wherever we are because people don't care. Like when I say people, I mean those that are committing the crimes. They really don't care about you. What they care about is what they can get.
For some, it seems home might be the unsafest place.
Well, yes,
Can you imagine?
we spoke about that a few minutes ago. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And when we compare what's happening here in the capital to some of the islands, it's such a vast difference that you can travel to one of the family islands and not even be concerned about locking your doors, but just a couple of miles away or 30 minutes in an airplane and you have total chaos where, there's no safety. So,
well, that's all I've ever known, right? From time I was a kid. That, I know people used to say Nassau used to be like that.
Yes.
But I've never
before our time, I'm sure.
Definitely.
I'm sure it's just you go to a different time when you leave Nassau to go to a family island.
I shouldn't say this on the air. Have you ever accidentally left the door unlocked
at my house?
Yeah.
No, because I know I'm paranoid.
And then you wake up in the morning good God, what did I do?
No.
I shouldn't say I've done that because people now come around checking the locks.
Correct. They do.
They
do. Absolutely.
Hopefully no one heard that
So
part.
we have bars, we have alarms.
Right.
So we're essentially prisoners in our own homes just so that we can feel safe.
Yeah.
And that's insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
Wow. This is the world we're in. But, I don't know. I don't know if we've crossed a point of no return. This is just the life we're gonna have to live on this island. And you think?
I don't think we've reached the point of no return, but I think that we've gotten to a place where there's very little attention being placed on reining in criminals. If you look at our judicial system, and I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, it's just bogged down, and it's it's a process to get a case tried for so many reasons, right? You have. Is there sufficient time on the calendar? Do you have sufficient information? The length of an investigation, and so a lot of times criminals get the opinion that it'll be years before they get tried. They're out on bail to continue to harass society, and so because there isn't so much attention on clearing that up and putting a proper process in place to have these criminals basically tried and put in prison, which again is a space capacity, right? So there's so many root causes and underlying issues that need to be addressed.
Yeah. People were outraged the other day. The case was set for 2025, 2026, right? And people were just how is this possible?
Yeah.
Wow. All right, let's see what this caller has to say, and we'll get to your text messages. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, it is Strachan along with you and your guest. I'm your co-host, Dwight.
Good morning.
We need justice, law, and order in this country, the Bahamas. People, the public, shouldn't be encouraged to stay in their home. They have the rights. And we pay the police a lot of money. They need to get out of their air-conditioned car and get on the street. I remember when it hottest it would be 10 past, police would be on the street walking or on bicycle. Okay, and we making it too easy for the criminals to take over the place. Police need to get on the street, and not only that, when one were to call them, they should come. I'm always hearing that they are recruited so many. Man, hey, get the police on the street and stop making criminals out of people in their own home. Thank you.
Okay, I don't know how they're doing that last part there, but yeah, I hear you. I mean, I have to say, in the last few weeks, it does seem that you see them more.
In certain areas, yes.
Only certain areas?
Yes, in certain areas.
Well, I'm hearing sirens nonstop. I don't know where I am.
Boy, but I don't know if they're responding to something. But the caller is right. Sometimes it does take them a while to respond, which is another issue. But I want to take it a bit deeper, though, Dwight, because I think, we need to get straight to the root, and which is the family, where you're taught morals and you're taught right from wrong, and you have consequences for when you breach or break certain rules. I believe that we've gotten to the place now where people are protective of their children or their family members. There are very few consequences. If you just notice, if a teacher reprimands a child, that teacher now has to face a parent, versus in my day, if I had a cause for the teacher to reprimand me, I would get a double punishment, So I think we also have to take it straight to its root and not just cast all of the burden on the judicial system or the police or the teachers. We need to address the fact that in homes we need parents and those responsible in communities to ensure that children are learning lessons about what's right, what's wrong, and there are consequences, and not turning a blind eye to what's happening and giving them the idea that it's okay to do what they're doing. Because, it's just eroding.
Absolutely. All right, let's get to your messages here. This one says, oh my goodness gracious. What is up with these people?
I'm not ignorant again this morning, eh?
No. Did the Crisis Center comment on the 14-year-old that was raped by the lady from Andros? I don't know if they did specifically on that matter, but they talk about all of these things, right? That their issue is a blanket statement, and generally it's not specific. It's about all sexual violence. All.
Yes.
You understand that? You all are looking to cause a problem for, I don't know why. It only sounds like misogyny to me. I don't know why you have an issue with the Crisis Center. This is very strange. And I wish it were only one or two people, but it seems to be a very large segment of the population, generally men. But this is bizarre.
I think their issue is that we speak so much more about females being sexually harassed or abused versus speaking out about the man. But I mean, let's just be real. It's more females, in my opinion. Let me say that. Not that it diminishes the fact that, when a male is abused, it's not as important. But the disparity isn't, it's different. And so, yes, there are male and females being abused. We are in no way saying that it's only females. And I hope that's a message that's pretty clear, that it happens regardless of your gender. And the Crisis Center is really just doing what it can to assist anyone who comes to them as well. But it's a mindset, and it goes back again to how we are eroding in the way that we think and cast aspersions and blame.
The texter goes on to say, I really think that we need to protect our young boys. When I was growing up, many grown women used to fool with young boys, and it looks like the rooster is coming home to roost.
Wow.
Okay? And kindly tell your guest, boy, since she's talking about in her day, children used to be beaten beyond recognition, and it contributes to violence as an adult. What's good about that?
But who said beating? Like, it's again, I didn't say you should beat your child. Consequences can be anything. So thank you, Dexter. Consequences is more than just putting a belt or a tamarind switch to a child, which I know a lot about. We can punish our children in other ways.
This one says here, why do you all keep saying it's so safe on the Family Islands? You live one and leave your door open. I live in Andros. Try leaving your door open and drop sleep inside. Oh, boy. So
wow.
It's spreading then.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. When we stop selecting lawyers as politicians, it will be a headway of solving these problems because they know if they don't do right by us, 5 years is the most that they would say. So after 5 years, the benefits from the career boss legislation, these are just words. There's no comma, I don't know what's happening. But okay, so no lawyers. That's what you're saying. Fine. They're just a bunch of words. It just wasn't like it making any sense. But they don't want lawyers.
Okay.
Okay. This one says that we need to give everyone whistles, as promised by the current prime minister, and install whistle detectors around the house. See, you all like to make jokes. This is a serious issue. Now, if you want a whistle, go get a whistle. Go get a whistle. But people won't know what that means. They'll probably think it's Junkanoo or something if you blow it. But no, this is serious. Let's not joke. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
No, we really have to do something. And again, it's any time of day and
any age.
Any age,
Yeah.
any gender. It doesn't matter, whatever. And wherever there's an opportunity, some of these folks will take it.
Yeah. And I do want to call on more men's groups to help in these situations because we do have a lot of women's groups that help with women and their personal development. So perhaps we do need to have some more male groups where men can feel safe, they can talk, they can share, they can be supported. Being a man is difficult. I think a whole lot of pressure is placed on men. So, that'll be great to see more non-religion groups come up where men can feel safe.
Definitely something is desperately needed. To some men, not all, of course. Some men do not have an understanding of how to interact with women and are having challenges clearly, and this is manifest in what we're seeing with these horrible incidents.
Yeah.
Right, and you could just tell. Just go walking around to see how people are interacting, people who don't know each other, like, why would you say that or look at somebody like that? Somebody that you don't know.
Yes.
You've got a problem. And these things, you saw this in children. You saw this boy has a problem as a child. And he grows up, nobody's trying to steer him in the right direction. And here he is now a predator.
Yeah. Sad.
Yeah. Oh boy! All right, so we're going to take a break. When we come back, we want to talk about this. Everyone's been talking about this. The poor state of the roads on New Providence. Finally, can we say finally? Help is on the way, or will you believe it when you feel it?
Yes.
When you feel it, we'll see. But we'll talk about that, and we'll hear the excuses from the Ministry of Works. But we'll get into all of this after the break. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio on a Tuesday. We'll be back in a bit. Stay with us.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
This is AP News. I'm Rita Foley.
Record-shattering heat is expected in the south through the middle of the week, from parts of the east to the west. One city is about to smash a big record.
For 18 straight days, Phoenix has experienced temperatures of 110 degrees Fahrenheit or more, and today is expected to be the 19th straight day. No other major U.S. city has had a 19-day streak of 110-degree days or 90-degree nights longer than Phoenix. That's according to historian Christopher Bird of the Weather Company. Smaller places have had longer streaks, including Death Valley in California, which has had an 84-day streak of 110-degree temperatures. I'm Donna Warder.
John Kerry, the U.S. climate envoy, is in Beijing.
Climate envoy John Kerry has told China's top diplomat that President Joe Biden's administration is very committed to stabilizing relations between the world's two biggest economies. Kerry's met with the ruling Communist Party's head of foreign relations, Wang Yi, telling him Biden hopes the two countries would achieve efforts together that can make a significant difference to the world. Ties between the countries have hit a historic low. Wang says the sides had suffered from a lack of communication, but that China believes that through renewed dialogue, we can find a proper solution to any problems. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Donald Trump's landmark case alleging he mishandled classified documents has its first pretrial conference today. Lawyers for both sides will appear before Judge Aileen Cannon in Florida to talk about the rules and procedures that will govern how classified evidence is used in the case. The UN command says an American has crossed the border from South Korea into North Korea without authorization. That American said to be in North Korea's custody now. No further details. This is AP News. Now to that Air National Guard member accused of leaking secret military papers.
The Massachusetts Air National Guard member accused of leaking secret military papers wants to be released while he awaits trial. A magistrate judge ruled in May 21-year-old Jack Texera must remain behind bars because releasing him would pose a flight risk or obstruct justice. Texera's lawyers are before a different judge and are pointing out the pretrial release of former President Donald Trump and others charged in high-profile classified documents cases. Texera is accused of sharing classified military documents about Russia's war in Ukraine and other sensitive national security topics on Discord, a social media platform popular with people playing online games. He faces up to 60 years in prison. Texera and Trump are both charged under the Espionage Act. I'm Ed Donahue.
The Dow gained 76 points yesterday. The S&P was up 17. I'm Rita Foley, AP News.
It's 7:35, time for your first look at traffic for the morning, brought to you by RBC. Get in gear with an RBC auto loan. In your real-time traffic, some building traffic on Mila Butler Highway, but manageable, just about midway between Fire Trail and Tonic Williams Darling Highway. You see that traffic in front of you near Harold Pond, northbound. Glass Road looking pretty good for you, just until you get to Munnings Road, northbound. You'll see that line of traffic in front of you heading to JFK Drive. Elsewhere, building traffic on Blue Hill Road, just north of Soldier, heading over that hill to Independence Drive. And just at some of the major intersections, you'll see a few cars in front of you. Looking pretty good on this summer morning. We'll have another update for you after the 8 o'clock news, though. This traffic update brought to you by RBC. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/gear up for an RBC auto loan. And time for another check of your weather. We've got troughing across the Bahamas in combination with a moist and unstable air mass and the northern extent of a westward moving tropical wave. That's pushing through the southeast Bahamas and will support shower and thunderstorm activity across the islands today. We also have a surface ridge of high pressure extending across the islands that will generate moderate to fresh breezes through tonight. For all areas today, look for partly cloudy conditions with occasionally cloudy periods, warm and humid but breezy in the central and southeast Bahamas. Widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Some showers will be locally heavy and thunderstorms strong to severe at times. Small craft cautions in effect for the central Bahamas and an advisory for the southeastern islands. Boaters can expect gusty winds and higher seas in or near showers and thunderstorms. Another hot day in store. Temperatures getting up to around 93 Fahrenheit, 34 Celsius, but the heat index will make it feel a whole lot hotter, like it's 107 Fahrenheit, 41 Celsius. So as a result, everyone's being urged to remain hydrated and limit outdoor sun exposure during peak sunlight hours. And overnight lows tonight getting down to a very warm 80 Fahrenheit, 27 Celsius. In your extended outlook, troughing along with a westward moving tropical wave will support pockets of showers and thunderstorms across the islands, while high pressure will maintain breezy conditions through the next few days. So, for tomorrow, Wednesday, variably cloudy, hot and humid, with scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Thursday, a mix of sun and clouds, hot and humid, with a few scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, becoming mostly fair and warm at night. We'll have your look at the tropics coming up in our weather update after the 8 o'clock news, but this weather check brought to you by the Nassau Guardian. Pick up a copy today, and the Grand Bahama News in today's section.
That's the sound of your car or truck. That's the sound of your horn. Get in gear with an auto loan. RBC makes it easy to get your own.
Get in gear with an RBC auto loan with up to 100% financing, extended repayment, and low interest rates. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/gear up. Conditions apply.
That's the sound of your car or truck. That's the sound of your horn. Get in gear with an auto loan. RBC makes it easy to get your own.
Introducing Wendy's new Chimichurri Cheeseburger. Chimichurri. That's how you pronounce it. Let it roll off your tongue. Then get ready for some ridiculously good flavor. Fresh, herby, garlicky, green, chimichurri. It'll feel like a relaxing backyard get-together with friends on a Sunday. Put in a burger. Come meet Wendy's new Chimichurri Cheeseburger with our new Dave's Craft Lemonade. Wendy's, different inside and out.
When faced with an illness like cancer, we band together, and we at Cleveland Clinic in Florida have your back. From advanced cancer treatments to extra safety measures at all of our locations, we're with you on this journey for every infusion and follow-up, for every step of the way, for every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic in Florida. Get the care you need when and where you need it. To learn more or connect with a local representative, visit clevelandclinic.org/Caribbean.
Wherever you're headed, the Custom Computers Know-How team is standing by to help guide you in the East and the West. We now have 2 convenient locations on Patton Street in Palmdale and our newest store in the Caves Village Shopping Plaza through the Blake Road entrance. Discover the latest products by top international brands and the knowledge you need to unleash tomorrow's technology today. Drop by Custom Computers out east or out west. We're open Saturdays from 10 till 4.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and carved body fasteners too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976. Total Auto Care on Howard Road offers fast, quality auto maintenance at the very best prices. Tune-ups, oil changes, brakes, suspension, wheel alignments, radiators, water pump replacements, and more. Need quality brand name tires for your vehicle? Tires that'll stand up to these roads? No worries. We supply Michelin, BF Goodrich, Bridgestone, Pirelli, and Toyo. We'll import them fast and install them for you at no extra cost. So when your car needs maintenance or quality tires, we're on Howard Road, just before Burger King. Come see us. Total Auto Care. Call us at 341-6599 or 341-2350.
Summer your way with Scotiabank. Apply for a Scotia Plan loan this summer and open the doors to your dream destination, the perfect home renovation, or prep for back to school, and so much more. Enjoy competitive rates, flexible loan terms, and no payments for up to 2 months. Use your plan loan to unlock your perfect summer break. Apply for your Scotia Plan loan today and have summer your way with Scotiabank. Visit bs.scotiabank.com or call 242-356-1697 for further details.
Take some advice from your Aunt Angie. If you want to go scuba diving on your vacation, don't bedazzle your wetsuit. And you think you look great, but what you don't realize is that you look like a shiny, scaly fish. And it won't take long for a shark to notice you. Next thing you know, you're busting out every karate move you got. But if you're smart, you'll have CG medical insurance and get airlifted out to the closest hospital.
Get coverage for emergency evacuations. CG Atlantic Medical and Life Insurance. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
Indulge in an experience that awakens your senses with Nescafe Gold. Premium Arabica coffee beans, carefully selected, roasted to perfection, and finely ground, resulting in a unique and unmatched flavor and aroma that captivates the senses. Enticing aroma, smooth taste. Elevate your coffee experience with Nescafe Gold.
We're gonna give you a check every week for a year. Percy's Pension Plan. Island Game, keep you winning. Percy's Pension Plan. Dream big, we will help you live it. Percy's Pension Plan. Island Game, we got you. Percy's Pension Plan. From the friends you can trust. If winning is a must, come play the game you know, cause your best chance is with us. The most trustworthy name is Percy's Island Game. So put 20 on your account and ride this easy train at Percy's Island Game.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Shopping is so rewarding with my Fidelity credit card. I get the best prices with price protection. Earn and redeem freedom points at my favorite stores. Get cash back. Plus, I booked a cruise. Get your Fidelity credit card today. Call 356-7764.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
We are back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strong along with Duquesa Dean on this Tuesday morning. We're talking about what's in the news, and we heard it yesterday. Road repairs for New Providence underway, more coming. Finally, we've had, in addition to the incredible heat and all the rain, and all the blackouts and the extremely high electricity bills. We'll talk about that tomorrow because I already told you that my bill last month nearly made me collapse. But I'm gonna seek therapy for the bill I checked.
Are you
bill I got
serious?
this week.
Really? My bill is the same.
Oh, really?
Really?
Were you away for long periods of time?
No. Well, 2 to 3 days.
And with the same, is
Oh,
it
but
the
you know-
same low or the same high?
It's the same for my summer rate. I mean, my summer, because, so yeah, it's the same. But I think the difference, it could be because we changed out some of our ductless units and we did get the high energy or efficiency.
Yeah.
So that might be the
maybe.
reason.
Well, mine is at least 200 to 250 more than my summer of late.
Wow.
Yeah.
With no change, like no change in your usage.
Slight, but we'll see. Next month will be the true test.
Wow.
We'll see what happens.
Okay.
And then we'll know whether. But anyway, we'll talk about this tomorrow. Okay. We're gonna have some folks in who can shed some light, hopefully, on what's going on. But BPL. Anyway, but that's tomorrow.
Right.
Road works and the lack thereof because these are the worst the roads have been in a long, long time.
Every single road.
Yeah.
Every single one.
Yeah.
Even on my drive here this morning, I was literally every road that I turned on, I had to avoid some kind of hole or drop.
Yeah. And we do know it did rain a whole lot in June and the first part of this month. So absolutely. But what we do wonder. I mean, we've been doing this patch job and we wonder what they've been patching it with.
Correct.
And the engineers yesterday, the Ministry of Works, pretty much acknowledged that some contractors may have been taking some shortcuts in the past. Take a listen to this report from our Jared Higgs.
While acknowledging that the state of roads in New Providence is poor, senior civil engineer in the Ministry of Works, Francis Clark, blamed heavy rain during June and July for the lack of work done to repair potholes during that time. With more rain than average this year, Clark said contractors who've been hired to patch and in some cases pave potholes have had limited time to take action when reports of potholes are lodged. It's a vexing problem, with motorists at risk of damaging tires and other parts of their vehicles' lower frames when landing in those potholes. In an attempt to solve the problem, the senior engineer said officials have renewed the contracts for road repairs at a price tag of approximately $101,000 each.
The contractors for all 12 zones of New Providence have been renewed and have already started on road repair works. The main focus at the moment is the arterial and collector roads, and residential areas are the most affected. And the reason why we focus on the arterial and collector roads is they carry higher volumes of traffic at higher speeds. Please note that we have upgraded our contracts to include resurfacing of areas that require too much patching. What we have noticed in the past is that contractors have patching large areas, and so we have identified the areas that require too much patching, and so we will be paving instead of patching.
Clark was frank, describing roads in New Providence as being in poor condition, adding that the worst roads are the older roads built around 60 years ago and making up about 85% of the roads in New Providence. Clark says those roads weren't built to much of a standard and are susceptible to erosion.
The roads that you see that are flooding and having issues, they are old roads that were built years ago, and as time went on and there was development, and if you know that once areas start to develop and you clear down land, you reduce the ability of the land to be able to drain itself, because the substructure or the limestone structure in the Bahamas has a lot of cavities. And if you clear the land, you reduce the land's ability to drain itself. And so that's why we have a lot of flooding and ponding in some areas on the older roads.
But another issue officials pointed to is a tax on workers fixing roads. Assistant Civil Engineer in the Ministry of Works, Bahia Hepburn, said the issue was widespread. She said a worker was attacked with a rock by an irate motorist last week, demonstrating why the ministry is at times reluctant to carry out works at night.
There is a safety factor. The worker in question that we were talking about, East Street South, the motorists became irate because they were doing paving works on East Street South. This was around Calvary Deliverance Church. And he became irate because the road was closed, and he took a rock. He took a rock and he pelted the rock, threw the rock and hit the traffic manager in the head, which required stitches. And this is not like a event that's out of place. They do, a lot of workers who on the road experience that. We've had persons not adhere, they will drive full speed through a closure in the night.
But Hepburn acknowledged that members of the public have a right to expect more.
They should hold us accountable. That's the whole point of this. Because I am just like a member of, and in one case I am a member of the public. So I also drive these roads every day. I ride these roads on Saturday. I ride them on Sunday specifically for looking for anything that we might have missed. And again, it does come down to basically ensuring that your resources, whatever's available, is all to spread to address what needs to be done. And I think that when it comes to, I would be notably very annoyed if I come and every day I see the same thing. So that is quite understandable. And that's why we're trying, right now, we're trying to express that the situation is more complex than just see a hole, fill a hole, especially in the case of the recurrence of things coming back, or sometimes, a lot of times, the area, if the drains are not, basically the drainage issue is not addressed, we come back in again, which then moves our resources back.
In other news,
Okay, our Jared Higgs with that report there. Wow. All right. So let's address that. We had a caller last week who told us about that. The incident with the she saw it herself.
Wow.
The guy got out of the car and threw a rock at
unprovoked.
Yeah, just because he was saying you can't drive this way because we're paving the road, and he got out and got a rock and threw it at him and hit him. And I couldn't believe it, but she said, yes, she saw it with her own eyes. I'm like, what
mindset?
And here we go. So this confirmed and. But they say this is not a unique situation.
That's insane.
Well, people have to know who that guy is, and we got to do something about him.
Yeah.
Whether that's your brother, husband, whatever, he's a crazy person, he's not well, and it's going to be you one day, if it hasn't already been. And he needs help. Because there's no reason for this.
Unprovoked. Yes.
Wow. Anyway, so let's talk about it. Finally, they're recognizing their issues. Things have to be done. Some contractors have been taking the easy way out, and you can tell.
I have so many questions.
Yeah, right? Because we said it last week that with the patching, sometimes it's 2 inches below the road and then you sink, or it's 2 inches above the road and then you got this big old bump. And it's hardly ever even. No. It never lasts as long as the old road, and the road looks like it's a quilt.
And the wear and tear on your car.
It's just been a mess. So, the patching, we do need to pave the roads.
I have questions. I have a process mind. Okay. So for me, it's is there a process for inspection?
Of the roads?
Of the roads. Is there a department that, just goes out and takes a look at what the current conditions are? Is there a schedule, a maintenance schedule for roads? Okay, we paved this road this year, this should come up in another 2 years. Is there a process in place to help eliminate and avoid?
Yeah.
Because we're being very reactive
yeah.
in terms of just patching the roads, and then the patches aren't lasting. And then who's inspecting the work by the contractors? Are we just giving out the contracts, and then what happens next? Are we saying to them, this particular contract is for a deeper level of repair, or is it up to the contractor to decide?
Yeah.
I have a lot of questions.
Oh, I am glad you asked some of those because they triggered some in me. I know that we've got some different styles of paving, apparently, maybe different companies. But I know there's somebody who's doing these very slick, slippery feeling roads. When it rains, is it rides smoothly in the sunny day, but this is dangerous.
Dangerous, yes.
We need something a little grainier. Mm-hmm. They may not provide the smoothest ride, but they seem to hold up better, and you don't slip.
Yeah.
I don't know why we don't have a uniform standard. Because it's disturbing. It's very disturbing. We're creating some dangerous situations here. And I'm wondering if there's something within the Ministry of Works that goes about after the contractors have done the job and say, okay, well, you're going to have to do this part over.
Right.
Because I could think of one place where they repaved the street and they made it lumpy. And it was never lumpy before. What did you do this for? And it's worse than it was before it was paved.
Right.
And I'm I know I'm not the only one who notices this. I'll give you a prize if you can guess which street it is I'm talking about. But it became lumpy after they paved it.
Wow.
And this is dangerous.
Yeah, who was inspecting the work and making sure that it's not subpar. making sure that it's done effectively.
It's crazy.
You know?
Yeah. Let's get this call in really quickly before we have to take a break. We'll pick this up on the other side. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, Dwight, I called back. I just had to call back. This is a smart woman you have with you. Recently, they've been patched in Mason's edition, right? And I walked through. I be all over the place, and I saw some stuff was wrong. And I spoke to the inspector about it, but he went ahead and did it the way he wanted to do it. Recently, they had to pave the whole area over. You see what I'm saying? But what I am saying is, right? People need wisdom. Barricade the whole place. They could barricade the House of Assembly, barricade the whole place, and have police from one end to the other end. That's all they need to do.
Well,
just don't have the people painting and anybody could drive through that.
You bring in a whole other department, and that gets complicated, right? That you're going to bring in a whole other department that gets complicated. The police are going to say we don't have the resources to have people just standing guard.
They have the resources, because if they can have the resources whereby they could barricade the whole House of Assembly plus Rossum Square, they have it, make it, because they have public works whereby they could make these stuff.
Okay.
You see, you can't have the people killing up each other.
I hear you.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot. Well.
Yeah, I mean, I think
it's to get private security. I don't
even know that we need to get to that state. Like, we need to call citizens to a higher standard if work is being done to help the road. I mean, it's common sense. You're biting your nose off to spite your face by injuring the people doing the work to fix the road. So we need people to have common sense. If the road is closed for repair, then find another route. It's that simple.
Well, that part is the most complicated in the whole thing.
Wow.
More complicated than fixing the roads. We'll be back after the news.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 at BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line, powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. And now at 8:20, time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Bahamas First Insurance. We've got a lot going on. We've got troughing across the Bahamas in combination with a moist and unstable air mass and the northern extent of a westward moving tropical wave that's pushing through the southeast Bahamas, and that's going to support shower and thunderstorm activity. Meanwhile, a surface ridge of high pressure extending across the islands will generate moderate to fresh breezes through tonight. Beachgoers in the central and southeast Bahamas should be alert, as there's a risk of rip currents along east and south coast beaches. Boaters should be alert for potential water spouts, and everybody's being urged to remain hydrated and to limit prolonged periods in the sun during peak hours, as heat indices will again be in the triple digits. Another day of this. So for all areas today, partly cloudy with occasionally cloudy periods, warm and humid, but breezy in the central and southeast Bahamas, Widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Some showers will be locally heavy and thunderstorms strong to severe at times. Smallcraft caution in effect for the central Bahamas and an advisory in effect for the southeastern islands. Boaters can expect gusty winds and higher seas in or near showers and thunderstorms. Temperatures today getting up to around 93 Fahrenheit, 34 Celsius. But as we said, the heat index in the triple digits will make it feel like it's 107 Fahrenheit, 41 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to a very warm 80 Fahrenheit, 27 Celsius. In your extended outlook, troughing along with the westward moving tropical wave will support pockets of showers and thunderstorms across the islands, while high pressure will maintain breezy conditions through the next few days. So for Wednesday, tomorrow, variably cloudy, hot and humid with scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Thursday, a mix of sun and clouds, hot and humid with a few scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, becoming mostly fair and warm at night. In the tropics, newly upgraded Tropical Storm Dawn is about 705 miles west of the Azores with maximum sustained winds near 40 miles per hour, moving southeast now at 12 miles per hour, still going in circles, but not going to be affecting any land areas. Elsewhere, tropical cyclone formation not expected through the next 7 days. That's your Morning Blend Weather Check, brought to you by Bahamas First. Visit firstonlineinsurance.com and select a Bahamas First agent to purchase, pay, or renew your car or home insurance 100% online, or just stop by any Bahamas First agent. Bahamas First, celebrating 40 years as the first Bahamian general insurance company. What's first for you comes first for us. And time for another check of your traffic for this morning, brought to you by RBC. Get in gear with an RBC auto loan. In your real-time traffic, Mile Butler Highway getting busier. Just north of Fire Trail, you see that heavy traffic heading northbound toward Tawny Bloom's Darling Highway. Gladstone is still looking good for you, though, just until you get to Munnings Road. Then you'll see that line in front of you northbound to JFK Drive. Elsewhere, Blue Hill Road, north of Soldier, looking busy for you, heading toward Independence Drive northbound, and Blue Hill near Carmichael, looking a bit congested. Soldier Road eastbound to East Street, that area is looking busy as you approach that intersection, and East Street approaching the East-West Highway, Independence Drive roundabout. Some building traffic there. Robinson Road between Soldier and Old Trail, a bit of congestion there, and pockets along Prince Charles Drive, the major intersections. Heading into the Palmdale area, Mackey Street looking busy for you, both directions, north and southbound, north of Wolf Road and between Shirley. But that's what we're seeing so far. That's your real-time traffic and your Morning Blend traffic alert, brought to you by RBC. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/gear up for an RBC auto loan.
neighborhood. The road them dig up. All the road them dig up. Everywhere they digging, morning, noon, and evening. The road them dig up. All the road them dig up. Got to go north to go south. Got to go east to get to west. It's like you're driving in a mist. The traffic block right down for days.
We're back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Duquesa Dean. And coming up in a few minutes, we're going to be talking with Jeff Rogers about the basketball camp, his annual basketball camp. We'll get details about that in just a bit. We continue talking about the situation with the roads. The Ministry of Works says they're about to start their major road repair project. Getting a reaction to what we talked about before the break. Yeah, a lot of your text messages coming in. You can continue to send them, 422-4796, or tweet us at Morning Blend at 969. And call in 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. All right, callers, we'll get to you in a second. This person says, this is about my power bill. Okay. Try turning off your heater, seeing that you're at work, turn it on when you're back home. And that, I'm sure that'll help bring your bill down. Okay, well, we're going to be doing some things, so we'll see. We'll talk, again, more about this tomorrow, and then next month, we'll see what's really going on here. But we know this is the fuel surcharge. Yeah. That's the issue, and we know who to blame for that.
That fuel surcharge.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane.
This is really unfair.
Yeah.
Really unfair. All right, this one says, the people hurt themselves in the Bahamas more than they hurt the FNM and Menace. What now? Brave and Menace is not hurting. PLPs and FNMs are hurting, and the economy is suffering from taxes and high light bills while Brave dances and travels and takes care of a few trolls and cronies. Okay. This one says, you're listening to the report on the safety of the workers repairing the roads. In the U.S., I've seen that a police car will always be stationed when road works are being done. Okay. I don't know.
Interesting.
When planning for road closures for paving, advance notice should be given in the media. Proper flashing lights all around the area with visible barriers installed. Yeah, they do a very bad job of letting us know so we could tell you all. Very bad job. I'm shocked sometimes when I'm driving and I see a road being paved and they said not one word
Any road work.
to anybody. And then never any signs to warn you that you might want to detour now because further ahead we're doing work there and you're going to have a problem.
Proper planning.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, who cares?
And giving the public enough notice so that they can find alternate routes.
Exactly. They've done well in the past with some things, but it's not consistent. It's not consistent. Good morning. I've been asking for years who supervises the road works. Most, if not all, the government jobs have or should have supervisors. Do they just get promoted after not doing their job? However, my questions go unanswered. Who oversees the road workers? This was happening for years with no questions asked. In the Police Traffic Act regulations, no road work should be done without a police officer present. Really? Okay, this is another one saying that. Furthermore, no regular citizen should be telling traffic when to go or to stop. Oh, I see. So it shouldn't be somebody who they... I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you see that a lot.
But that doesn't mean you should get hit with a rock in the head.
Agreed. But, I agree that there should be some policies that are enforced or followed, right? Because even if you notice when you have an obstruction in the road, you may have a citizen directing traffic, stop, go. Right. But, people used to respect authoritative figures more.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that still exists today. So maybe a uniform or something like that would get more respect to do that, come, go, stop, or detour, or whatever. But it's something to be taken into consideration, particularly if it's a part of the road act.
Right.
That that someone should be present.
Well, they go on to say, if that person causes the accident, who's responsible? Because some motorists will not adhere to your directions. You can look it up yourself. A police officer should be present at all times during road works. It's in black and white in the Police Traffic Regulations Act. Well, we'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
It makes sense. It makes sense. Well, then, what's
Coordination.
going on, police force?
It's coordination.
Let's take these calls. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning to you, Dwight, and good morning to you, Miss Dane. Welcome to the pen. welcome to the pen, where the supposedly deep thinkers will drown in a teaspoon of thought.
Is that doesn't sound good. What? Okay.
Dwight, how far do you think we're away from becoming a failed state? No, because I read the newspapers, and if you listen to them concerning the percentage of roads that's 60 years old, and essentially the life of a road is worth 30 to 40 years, and then you look at our budget, and you look at our buildings, and you look at everything, and so here's the thing where you have to ask yourself: if a road costs $500,000 a mile or whatever a mile, how much miles of road can be paved, and how much miles of road is on New Providence? I know just in the development I have here in Grand Bahama of 800 homes, we have 12 miles of road. So that's just inside the development. And so when you look at what has to be done, if you notice that no government to date, in spite of we talk about these national development plans, has laid out the cost factor to bring us into the 21st century in any of the things or institutions that we have to do. So you can say, look, we need $1 billion to pave all the roads in the Bahamas, and this is the strategy that we will seek to achieve it and pay for it over 10 years. It's the same thing with our schools. We have an antiquated school system or plantation, and you say, okay, these are the new schools we need, and this is how it will be funded. See, but the problem with the patch, as you know, as you patch your home, it continues to deteriorate, accelerates. Because you say you're patching the leaks as you see them, but by the time you see the leak, the damage has been done. Yeah. And so we have to actually begin to have conversation as a developing nation that we suppose we are, in spite of the fact that our leadership continuously beg to be classified as a third world nation. When they say, they got us making too much money, the problem is, distribution. But this is the conversations where we keep allowing them to bring us these soundbite governance rather than strategic plans of dealing with the issues, like your problem with BEC or BPL. What is the strategy for bringing in 21st century energy production, considering that 95% of the 21st century relies on energy for it to be produced, which generates the income to do the things that we need. So until that is fixed, we can anticipate that we are slowly sliding backwards, and we have leadership that brags, look, we only slide back 2 feet rather than 3.
Wow, okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, appreciate it. Wow.
Yeah.
Boy,
Those are some deep thoughts.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's take this other call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Hi.
Yeah, just trying to get this for a minute. State Avenue South and St. Vincent Road, right there on that junction. Man, I took pictures and all that. There's a thing there, I don't know, it's like a manhole. And every time you dropping that, you front end leaving the road, man.
Wow.
And you check stock and St. Vincent Road, they got some holes in it too. And no one checking.
Yeah.
I hope the right people listening to you this morning.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
I hope so too. Thank you very much. Thanks for bringing it to people's attention. Yeah.
And you can hear the frustration.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
You can hear the frustration. But I like what the caller said about having a strategic plan, though, Dwight. We need a plan that doesn't change as the government changes. We need that longevity so that that initial plan that could be agreed upon is executed over time. We set ourselves back when it becomes political because one party may not want to continue what another party started, or it comes down to who gets credit for what's done.
Absolutely.
We just need a strategic plan for taking care of the infrastructure in our country, period.
Right. Let's take another call. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, morning, Dwight.
Good morning.
I'm on your guest.
Good morning.
I hear you talking about the roadway, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we spend a lot of money on licensing these cars. Don't you know the government collect about over $200 million just on licensing car alone? And that money should be, go there, keep the road up upgraded for us to drive on. Okay? Patch is only a temporary thing. After something, maybe 2-3 years, they have to pave the road. Okay? So that's it. And now you have the gentleman talking about the roof. You get those tar paper shingles, they let you know they only go hold up for about 10, 15 years. So automatically you know you have to redo your roof again.
Yeah.
So I don't see where that, make any sense. Now, again, I say we spend this license fees about at least $200 million that they collect. So I don't see no problem why they can keep the road, pave the roads when when the time comes. They just go ahead, patch. And another thing too, Dwight, they only have one team with paving. One team, one machine. I think they need about at least 3 machines. And they could hire 2 more teams. So they'll have 3 teams to paving. One could be paving out that way, because same times they finish paving Fox Hill, and they get out in the other area all the time to go back up Fox Hill to pave.
Yeah.
And,
Especially, absolutely. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what are the 60-year-old roads that, what are they suggesting? They've never been repaved, or they've been, I can't imagine, they've been left alone for 60 years. That's not what they mean, right?
I mean, that's what I took him
No,
to
it's not possible.
That's what I took his words to mean.
Couldn't possibly be. But I say it's the newer roads that seem to have the issues. The ones that they paved recently,
I agree with
are
you.
the ones that seem to crumble the easiest.
Yeah.
Some of the older roads are holding up a whole lot better.
Correct. So probably choice of material.
Definitely.
And then quality of the workmanship, right? So that too plays a big factor.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like your caller just said, or our caller just said, a Band-Aid approach that's just temporary. If you put a Band-Aid on something, that's not a permanent fix. So we need to move to permanent fixes.
Yeah. A few more messages before we take a break. The person says here on our text line, the reason why our leadership is so nonchalant about our deteriorating roads is because they are hardly on the island and are off on trips giving speeches. Okay, well. It seems the real problem with the roads was the signing of the contracts. It was an administration mess-up. Okay, I don't know, but this is a hot, miserable summer we're experiencing in the Bahamas. I don't know how many will survive without resources such as electricity and water, and no wonder people are irate these days.
Yeah.
A lot of ill-tempered people.
Yes.
Including myself, some would say. Oh, boy. If you have roads in your area that need repairs, why aren't you complaining to your MP? Please stop your foolishness. Is this a joke text? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? And what is the MP going to do? Especially if the MP is not in the government, is it with an opposition party?
Are the MPs even in their offices?
I don't even know if the MPs. The MPs don't even live in the area sometimes. I mean, what type of 1980 text is this? Seriously? Get out of this type of thinking, please. For God's sake. They go on to say they get an allowance. What? Do you know how much is spent to keep up the area? Please stop. Please stop. Don't just blame works on the Prime Minister.
What do you mean?
No, we weren't even talking about him, but he is
He's the
Prime
ultimate,
Minister.
right, the ultimate leader.
But yeah,
so.
we blame it on the Cabinet and the Ministry of Works. That's what we're blaming it on. The Ministry of Works. Yeah. This must be sent from somebody at the Ministry of Works. Hey, what's going on with your text? Don't just blame the Ministry of Works. Your MP has money for your area as well. So you want what? The MP to go and pave the road?
Small. That's such a small allowance.
What do they want? The MP is supposed to go and pave the road.
No.
Fix all the potholes. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No wonder why they got us for jokes in House Assembly, because we want to focus enough to learn. Okay. You're talking nonsense. You are the problem. I want you to know. This whole system is ridiculous, and this is not helpful. It should never be the MP. I tell you before, this Ministry of Works actually needs to be broken up into many different little departments all over the country, so we don't have to wait. Everybody has to wait in line, because the Family Islands have these poor roads as well. And now that New Providence is finally getting focused on, they're going to be sitting around there waiting forever.
Correct.
So this is a terrible, terrible system, and the MP talk is nonsense. Nonsense, right? Do you know who lives in my constituency?
Tell me.
The Minister of Works.
No.
Right up the street. And a whole bunch of cabinet ministers and former cabinet ministers live in the area. But yet, Eastern Road was a disaster for months. And they didn't pave it, they just patched it. So God knows the next rain, it'll be open again. Right? So, and if there's flooding on Prince Charles Drive, it doesn't make a difference. They're all there. They all see it. I believe the current MP lives in the area too.
Yeah.
What difference does it make?
It's much deeper than an MP problem. It's
much bigger.
Yeah. It's
So that type of talk, we don't need that anymore in the 21st century. We need the people of the Ministry of Works to do their job, and we need to start thinking about a way to break this up into smaller, departments that can actually work consistently in the area. If they're responsible for the whole country, we'll never get anything done. There are a couple ministries that need to be broken up, but the Ministry of Works is number one. Number one. This is foolish. I mean, are they suggesting that there are roads that haven't been fixed in 60 years? Does that make sense to you?
It doesn't make sense to me at all. It's possible, but it doesn't make sense. But like you said, the older roads are the sturdier roads. So, yes.
Let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about happier things. Basketball. Jeff Rogers and his amazing basketball camp. That's after the break. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
The sun comes up with a burning glow, shines down on paradise below. I'm talking about the Bahamas, you know, our beautiful archipelago. Now go, 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 brag about the beauty. Tell them we friendly. Oh, tell them we proud of the country. Tell them they could come see. Then say I'm proud to be a Bahamian. Proud to be a Bahamian. Proud to be a Bahamian, yes. God gave this land to me.
That's the sound of your car or truck. That's the sound of your horn. Get in gear with an auto loan. RBC makes it easy to get your own.
Get in gear with an RBC auto loan with up to 100% financing, extended repayment, and low interest rates. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/gear-up. Conditions apply.
That's the sound of your car or truck. That's the sound of your horn. Get in gear with an auto loan. RBC makes it easy to get your own.
It's been 35 years since Custom Computers was founded, and we'd like to celebrate that milestone by thanking you, our clients and customers. You've inspired 35 years of expert service and support, partnering with the world's leading brands like HP, Apple, and Microsoft. We take pride in setting the bar for what you expect and deserve from a homegrown Bahamian business. We're here to serve you when you need us, so call 396-1101. Custom Computers, raising the standard since 1987. There's a new electric vehicle in town, the Jack brand of SUVs, trucks, sedans, and commercial vans, available only at Easy Car Sales, home of the fully electric vehicle. For a powerful, smooth ride at a fraction of the cost to drive, leave the pump behind and hit the road with Jack. Visit easy242.com to see our brand new Jack models and drop into Easy Car Sales for a test drive. It'll have you singing. Hit the road with Jack, and don't you pump gas no more.
Total Auto Care on Howard Road offers fast, quality auto maintenance at the very best prices. Tune-ups, oil changes, brakes, suspension, wheel alignments, radiators, water pump replacements, and more. Need quality brand name tires for your vehicle? Tires that'll stand up to these roads? No worries. We supply Michelin, BF Goodrich, Bridgestone, Pirelli, and Toyo. We'll import them fast and install them for you at no extra cost. So when your car needs maintenance or quality tires, we're on Howard Road, just before Burger King. Come see us. Total Auto Care. Call us at 341-6599 or 341-2350. We go everywhere. Shop early at Janae's Chesapeake Road annual back-to-school sale going on now. Get up to 20% off on all school items in stock. Yes, all school items in stock. Shirts, jumpers, skirts, boys' long and short pants, school neckties, PE shorts, in a variety of colors and school monograms. Shop early and don't miss out at Janae's Uniform Center Chesapeake Road's annual back-to-school sale going on now. Remember, we go everywhere. Beat the rush and save, save, save at Janae's annual sale now.
We're gonna give you a check every week for a year. Percy's Pension Plan. Island Game, keep you winning. Percy's Pension Plan. Dream big, we will help you live it. Percy's Pension Plan. Island Game, we got you. Percy's Pension Plan. From the friends you can trust. If winning is a must, come play the game you know, cause your best chance is with us. The most trustworthy name is Percy's Island Game. So put 20 on your account and ride this easy train at Percy's Island Game.
Doctors Hospital has reimagined primary care. We have invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. We understand that your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnoses and true personalized treatment begins. With locations across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Exuma, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshosp.com.
Summer your way with Scotiabank. Apply for a Scotia Plan loan this summer and open the doors to your dream destination, the perfect home renovation, or prep for back to school, and so much more. Enjoy competitive rates, flexible loan terms, and no payments for up to 2 months. Use your plan loan to unlock your perfect summer break. Apply for your Scotia Plan loan today and have summer your way with Scotiabank. Visit bs.scotiabank.com or call 242-356-1697 for further details.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
If I could live my life far into yesterday, I'll talk with the great Pompey and Black Dick too. Oh, I'll chat with the Milo Butler and the great C.R. Walker, Sir Cecil Wallace Whitfield. I'll say, how do you do, yeah. I'll find Dame Doris Johnson and Sir Randall Fox, L.W. Young and C.C. Sweeting too. Oh, Mr. Timothy Gibson, Clarence Bain, Sir Henry Taylor, Sir Kendall Isaacs too. I'll find Sir Roland Simonet, the first Bahamian premier, Sir Gerald Cash, and A.R. Brennan too. Oh, Mr. Carlton Francis, and Sir Evian Depute, Mr. Norman Solomon, and P.A. Gibson too, yeah. They are our heroes, Bahamian heroes. They paved the way, way back in the day.
We are back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan, along with Jaquessa Dean, and this is now the, what is it, 34th? 35th. Yeah. Really? Okay, 35th annual Jeff Rogers Basketball Camp is here, and Jeff Rogers himself is right in studio with us. Good morning, sir. Always a pleasure. Good to see you.
I'm excited. Good morning to everybody. Good stuff.
So
happy to be here.
This year's camp started yesterday.
Yes. We started yesterday,
Okay.
and kids was all excited. First, let me thank God for life and thank Him for giving me another chance, to experience another year to work with our young people. So I'm just excited about it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so before we get into the details about this year, give us some background information for those who aren't familiar. I don't know how they couldn't be because it's been around for a long time.
Well, the camp normally do 4 weeks, for the camp. As you know, we had all of the celebration, for 50th anniversary for independence, and then, the Bahama Games, And so we were not able to start the camp the 4 weeks, so we started for 2 weeks, which and it started yesterday on the 17th, and we'll run until the 28th. And my out-of-town guests, you know, some of the legends who would normally come over, they'll start, I guess, on Sunday. Guys like Michael Thompson, Clay Thompson, and the legend Muggsy Bogues.
Okay.
You know, so they'll come over next week to spend some time, you know, just to motivate, encourage our young people, just to know a little bit more about life or what it takes to become a professional athlete.
Excellent. Take us back to the beginning. How did this get started?
Well, this camp got started. I never had no mind to do no basketball camp. You know, being a committed member with the Seventh-day Adventist, you know, religion. And they put a call out one day to, when I was a young man, to do something for your community. You know, what can you give back, you know? And I was just thinking, what can I give back? And the thought came to mind, why don't you just do a basketball camp? And then I said to myself, I said, boy, if I do a camp, man, I want it to be different. I want NBA stars, you know.
Wow.
That's how I started thinking, you know.
Did you know any NBA stars at the time?
Yeah. Because, you know, me and Michael Thompson, you know, we grew up together. Michael Thompson, Osmond Lockhart. And back in the days, Michael used to be a household name. And I contact a fella by the name of Spud Webb.
Oh, you remember him.
And because he was a friend of Michael Thompson. I don't know if you remember, Michael had a celebrity basketball game in the Bahamas back in 1985.
Wow.
Where he had all the Magic Johnson and all those guys at the Sports Center. And I worked along with Michael. He flew me out to Portland, kept me out there for about 3 to 4 weeks, to train me to understand how to work along with the organizers. And so through that, I built some friendships.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and then I kept contacts. And I called Spud Webb, and I said, listen, my church want me to do something.
Wow.
And I want to do a camp, and I would like for you to come over. He said, you know what?
That's really cool.
I'll think about it. And he called me back. He said, hey, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And so that was 35 years ago. And the amazing thing for me was that every year, I've always had professional athletes at the camp. Current and former.
Yeah.
Every year. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Because one player will introduce you to this one. Michael introduced me to Byron Scott. Byron Scott became a coach. He introduced me to the players like Kyrie Irving, Chris Paul, and I mean, it's a whole list. We had at least about over 200 or more NBA players to the camp.
Yeah. Wow.
Every year.
Now, the students, and any students who have come through the camp have gone on to greatness?
Well, we had two. Our two Bahamians right now, DeAndre. He's here now. He just came in town Sunday, and hoping to see him to the camp. He started in the camp and he was 8.
Wow.
And I can remember his father bringing him there. He's an Adventist guy too. So his father brought him to the camp and he said, hey, I don't want to stay in no basketball camp. And
that's what DeAndre said?
Yeah, he didn't want to stay in the camp.
Wow.
But his father said, look, you're going to stay in this camp. And his father left him, and he...
was he tall at that age? 8 already?
You know, I think what stands out in my mind about him was, you know, he's, about almost 7 foot now, right? So imagine when he was 8.
Yeah.
Okay? He used to look down on the kids. He
wow.
running around the Bahamas Academy yard playing with them.
Wow.
That used to be a weird
That's crazy.
scene. Yeah.
So he looked like a coach by then.
Pardon me?
He looked like a coach already by then, I guess.
Yeah. But he's all of a sudden he just became so focused. You know, he didn't know how to play basketball, but he just got focused. And next thing I know, there was somebody made a phone call to the U.S. and I saw these people standing at the camp door one day. And I think Marcellus Hall was there because he used to. I think DeAndre was in Marcellus' group because he used to wait the camp. And next thing I know, they took him and he was out of town.
Oh my goodness!
He was gone.
So look at that.
Yeah, and then you have Kai Jones.
Yes.
Who was with the Charlotte. Matter of fact, Muggsy Bogues, he's a spokesman for the NBA and the Charlotte Hornets. So Muggsy wanted to invite Kai Jones to the camp. And he told Muggsy, he said, man, you can't tell me about Jeff Rogers. I used to go to Jeff. Little did I know.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he used to come to the camp.
Oh, really?
Nope. I didn't even know.
Oh, my goodness.
So Muggsy just told me that. And then you have a number of young men and young ladies who went off to college. A couple of my instructors now, they play pro ball in Europe.
Okay.
The men who I have there now, so I was able to use my connections, connect them with some lawyers, and So the camp has done great
Yeah.
for a lot of young
That is
people.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right, so this year, you said it already, it's going to be only 2 weeks this year.
Yes.
So how many people do you have so far?
Right now we got just about close, like about 100 kids.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Can you accept more?
Yes, we can. We have, we have space, because I have so many instructors who want to work. So I had a couple of phone calls last night. Mr. Rogers, can I come in to work? So I didn't want it to kind of overstaff. So they like standing by.
Okay.
We don't, we put just so many kids in each group. Okay. And then sometimes when the group get big, then you hire like another instructor to work along with that particular instructor,
Right.
But the camp, the camp is great. We have a lot of experience in terms of how to manage the kids. We set up these different stations where the kids learn different fundamentals of the game. We have sessions where we do talk about the life skills a part of the camp. So it's not just teaching basketball skills, it's talking about life. And remind the campus about all the things what they would have learned from their parents, like be respectful, be honest, and just a whole lot of stuff that goes on in terms of working with our young people.
Yeah, and it's boys and girls.
Boys and girls, ages 5 to 18.
5?
Yes, yeah, oh man.
that's young.
Yeah, we got about 20 of them in there now, and they're the ones who keep you, you got to be ready. The energy level, some parents just love it. They love the fact that when they come to pick them up, they're sleeping, they're tired, they're burned out, and so the camp brings a lot of excitement, a lot of energy in the camp, and I truly thank God for just giving me the mind and the spirit and the attitude, to want to work with young people. It's a wonderful experience to give back to your country and your community. You can't put a price tag on it.
Yeah. So you said already, you don't even have to have much of an interest. You don't even know how to play it. That doesn't matter. You could turn out a superstar.
We have some kids and they just came in from Exuma, and one of your colleagues, Sharon? She said, Mr. Rogers, they knew, right? Because the kids looked like they were scared. I said, but they can be all right.
Yeah.
So we take them. It's not about you knowing the game. Our job is to teach you the game, the fundamentals, and what I enjoy about the camp is to just be able to hang out with the kids and to let them open themselves to you when they get to like you. And you can talk, and there's so many things you can talk about, working with young people. And we had about over 10,000 young people pass through the camp.
Wow.
And in the past 34 years. And then, everywhere you go in the Bahamas or in the U.S., you run into somebody, hey, my nephew used to go to your camp. Mr. Rogers, you don't remember me, right? I used to go to your camp, defense force officers, police officers, doctors, lawyers. The people who run my camp right now, the lady who's in charge, is Danielle DeVoe. She's a professional, I think she's, I want to say a pharmacist, but these are professional people who work the camp. And she lives in California. She lives in San Diego. And so she's home to work the camp.
Yeah.
And she just work the desk.
All right, so only 2 weeks. So when's the latest someone could sign up to be a part of it?
Well, I would say by the end of this week, because, we want you to be a part of, because, we close it out with a bang, whether we invite all the parents and the general public to come back out to watch the kids showcase their skills, what they would have learned during those 2 weeks. And then we let them scrimmage against each other, different age group, and then my professional guys will put on like a little exhibition for them.
Nice.
So we give everybody a chance to see exactly what their kids learn in 2 weeks. So we call it the Fun Night with the Stars. Normally we take them on a field trip. We take them to the IMAX, and they'll spend the day there. So I don't know if we're going to have time to do it this year, but some kids already asked, are we doing a field trip this year?
Right.
So we'll figure it out. We talk to the parents, and if they see where they could squeeze them in. But I know time is on our limit, but I just want to thank those persons who support the camp. The Southwest Conference of the Seventh-day Adventists, J.S. Johnson, Mrs. Hanna, those folks, and Elaine Pinder from the Bamboo Shack, and Bahama, who hosts, the plays for me, and the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, and Jules Hardy Supply. They are persons who became a part of the camp, along with Star FM. They always been there for me, calling me up. we ain't hear you from you yet. You know, so I'm ready to go. So I'm
sister station.
Yeah,
Wow,
so I'm
okay.
truly grateful and thankful to all of the persons who support this camp over the years.
Excellent. All right, so people want details. So hours. What are the hours like for the camp?
The camp is from 9 to 1. We there from 7:30 to supervise, the kids, for those parents who got to get to work early.
Mhm.
So we there for that. And we also have forms available. Well, you could come to the camp now. We used to have them to the Southwest Conference office, but now you can just show up to the camp and we'll be able to take it from there.
Yeah. Is there a cost? How much is it?
The camp with the shorts, T-shirts, field trip is only $150.
Okay.
And that include like I said, the outfits.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent stuff. So just get to the Ken Isaacs Gym.
Just get the
Sign up.
sign up. We got our folks here ready for you. Just come in and enjoy the rest of the couple of days we got left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Wonderful stuff. Jeff Rogers, keep up the excellent work that you've
I
been
appreciate
doing
it.
all these 35 years. And this is great stuff. People saying to tell you hi, they went to the camp.
Yeah.
So this is impressive. Thank you again.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys.
Thank
and you guys
you.
be blessed and continue to do a great job in the Bahamas.
All right. You as well.
Thank
as
you.
well.
Okay, bye-bye.
We're going to take a break for news and be back. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
If I could live my life far into yesterday, I'll talk with the great Pompey and Black Dick too. Oh, I'll chat with the Milo Butler and the great C.R. Walker, Sir Cecil Wallace Whitfield. I'll say, how do you do?
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
The views and opinions of the host and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Tuesday, July 18th, 2023. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Duquesa Dean. And this morning, we are again talking about downtown Nassau and plans to restore the area and some of the challenges in the area. We've got a lot of stories in today's Nassau Guardian about this. So our Christelle Brown writing about it. The Office of the Attorney General is drafting a downtown city management bill, which will give the government more power to restore downtown Nassau. More power? Because they didn't have the
Right,
power?
I'm confused by that. Yeah, I'm really confused.
That's very strange. Who had the... Anyway. Downtown Nassau, of course, has been plagued with various issues for decades. Global relations consultant in the Ministry of Tourism, Randy Roll, confirming this yesterday. He said the Downtown City Management Bill that is being drafted by the Office of the Attorney General. We hope it'll be ready in the very near future. That will relieve some of the issues that we have as it relates to the management of downtown, parking, being able to raise revenue, and to beautify Bay Street. Roll, who's been in charge of with monitoring downtown upgrades, said a number of small but impactful changes have already been made in the downtown area. His ministry is set to announce a massive cleanup effort that will be carried out in partnership with Royal Caribbean International and other private companies. He's also hoping to receive funding to create a park to add to downtown's offerings. That sounds wonderful, but where would you put the park?
I don't know. Maybe they will have to knock down some of the derelict buildings.
I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, to put that up. But that's very interesting. And I do hope that we can get more than talk this lap on getting downtown in shape. I mean,
because we've certainly heard it all before.
Yeah, we have. And it's, we hear about the record numbers of tourists that come through the cruise port into downtown Nassau. So it should be a priority to have that look and feel like the Bahamian culture, welcoming, not just about cosmetic, even though that's important, but, giving them a feel of what the Bahamian culture could be like, making it safe from a pedestrian perspective. So a lot of focus into creating even something that locals can go down and participate in.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, Roll is saying, quote, I just had a walkabout with one or two artisans here in the Bahamas because, subject to approval by my minister, the Minister of Tourism and his colleagues, I'm interested in creating an historic park at the rear of Rawson Square, where we would have moved some of the old buildings. He added that the park will give people added incentive to venture into that part of downtown while displaying the history of the Bahamas. So that's where he wants to put it. That's not going to be a big park. Roll also says that he had discussions with the bands of the Royal Bahamas Police Force and Royal Bahamas Defense Force and the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services to provide entertainment downtown. He said, we want to bring life to our city center. Roll unveiled his action plan during a recent stakeholder meeting with downtown business executives. He said there was a lot of buy-in from stakeholders and expressed hope that downtown businesses will continue to work with the government. He said, quote, we also want the stakeholders to know that there are some things we expect from them as well. Sometimes you walk downtown at 3 o'clock in the day and a store owner may take garbage and put it out on Bay Street. The truck doesn't come until 4:30 p.m. So for an hour, you have garbage just sitting on the side of the road. We no longer want that. We want to have a more systematic approach to collection. Roll also says his team has been documenting the improvements made to the downtown area, saying that the key is consistency. Okay.
Yeah, the key is consistency. Yeah, and it would be great to see some of these things come to be, Dwight.
All right, let's get your reaction to that so far, what you're hearing there, and
I think it'll be great as a cultural center, where you can have entertainers of Bahamian culture. You can have a variety of entertainment. You can have even we have the guys that walk on stilts, and you can have like a roster that incorporates a bunch of different type of entertainment throughout the course of the week and kind of spread it around to give everyone a bit of a taste of what Bahamian culture is, and that we can make sure that our culture stands out and isn't mirroring those other cultures. But, what does the Bahamas really stand for?
Yeah, and definitely, I mean, we'd love to have more from the Defense Force and Police Force and Correctional Services band, but there are a lot of other bands as well, and I keep saying it, and I know it's not just my idea. Others have said it before. Especially east of East Street, we have the area is ripe for an entertainment district where you could have pubs that you could go to find live ententertainment every day of the week, every day and night. It would be perfect. I think we could have a lot of people who could follow their passions and not just part-time, who could be musicians full-time.
Yeah.
And could be in there. You go and see them. This is their house band. They're always in there, and you could go and have lunch and listen to them play. I think it would be amazing.
And it would bring it quite to life.
Right.
Like, I love watching the artists paint in real time.
Yeah.
Like, you can have all of that happening down in that entertainment center
Yeah.
or in the city core. So there's so much that
Right.
can be done to liven up.
Because you can't find a restaurant.
Yeah, right.
That serves, right? There are very few now
Yeah.
of Bahamian food, and you could bring this back.
Yeah.
You have a blank canvas
At
with
one
East
point,
of East Street.
downtown was, where everything happened. Even
Yeah.
getting ready for back to school, if you're
yes.
of that age category, you had to go downtown.
Definitely.
But now it's definitely lost its flavor, and we need to bring it back.
Yep. So let's get your reaction to this. What you're hearing, what you're not hearing. What are you thinking? 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Do you think what you're hearing so far is mainly cosmetic and still lacking in the actual plan for the redevelopment of the area? What did you make of this bill? What does it mean to give the government more power? And is that something you want to be hearing? Central government having more power. More power? More power, folks. Okay. What do you... The most powerful entity, what is it called when they become more powerful? Oh dear. Oh dear.
And more power to do what? Exactly what? I'd like that defined, because you have the ultimate power now. I don't
understand.
Yeah.
More power?
Yeah.
Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
And good morning to your guest.
Good morning.
Listen, I'm listening to the gentleman said, was reading that he said he spoke with the police band, the defense force and prison band, right? How about speaking to the jungle groups? There's a lot of them, lots of them. They can take turns there displaying their art, doing a little show and tell with the tourists, having a lot of interaction, having them help to make little costumes. I think that would be very exciting, and I don't think you could ever run out of ideas when you incorporate the jungle groups into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of possibilities, a lot of potential.
So
Absolutely.
much can happen.
And then I hear them saying nothing what they're going to do with the buses.
Oh, that's another story.
Yeah.
You mean in general or downtown? That's what you mean? Downtown?
I guess if you're going to touch it, do it in general one time. Don't do peace now and peace later. Do it in general one time.
Yeah, that's a big problem
Yeah,
down there.
it is. It is.
But I've had an idea where the buses are concerned for years. Because when I travel, I like to ride the buses in America, and the system is so on time. If we can get a system as such, because my idea was simple, just to make a particular area where they come, where they would have restrooms, because these drivers will stop all over the road to use the bushes and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Or walls, apparently.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was an idea I had from years ago, but I don't have any funds to do it. So, and I think it would be a nice little income too, because then you can the government. If the government do it, they can make money off it.
We do need a real bus
Yes.
terminal. I think it would be great. Yeah, and even maybe even if you do it right, a tourist attraction too, right? You'd be
Yes, that's what I'm
surprised.
saying. Because you can have a little restaurant and
Yeah.
stuff in there. You can even have an area where the buses, if they want to take lunch, they can park and wait a few minutes and then hit the road to make their run. See, they don't have to stop all over the road and block up traffic when they have right there to rest.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. This is the type of talk that we need, right? The ideas out there. And Duquest and I were talking off here that perhaps we are beyond buses now. We need to really be thinking about something, and we've said this a long time ago, but rail, trolleys, something overhead, something. Maybe we've outlived, and we know the emissions issues with the buses. Maybe we need to convert some of these narrow streets into tracks. Right? Is this where we are? A real terminal for public transportation.
And making it safe for users.
We've got, this is the time to plan the way forward for the city of Nassau. Where is that plan?
Yeah.
And who's at the table drawing up what we want to see Nassau look like in 50 years?
And who's listening to us, right? Those focus groups of bringing people in and getting their ideas and taking the best ideas from the people that live it. Those are important.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely. In other places, the local government people would be responsible for that, but we don't do that around here. So, gotta wait for the MP to decide. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning to your co-host.
Hi.
Good morning.
Dwight, we just celebrating 50 years, and we only talking about Bay Street.
Well, we're talking about downtown right now, but yeah.
I say right now. I think, well, I hope next 50 years we'll be talking about, you just mentioned, the whole entire islands of New Providence. From a local government perspective where politicians don't make the decision for us. We make the decision how downtown. People residents, they live downtown. They ain't got their opinion. They live out west and then people out east. We want us to be involved for the next 50 years. We want to say how downtown should look, how East Street should look, and the rest of the east and the west. You want that young lady need a voice. I need a voice. If you don't do that system right, then maybe the next 50 years will be very poor. We're talking about Bay Street.
Yeah.
And I agree, Bay Street need to look good and all that, but Bay Street ain't gonna look. It could be unbalanced. If Bay Street look towards go all about,
True.
Very true. And Carmichael has as much business and activity, if not more, than Bay Street, right?
No.
Yes.
So let's go over the hill. You want up? I remember the Freddie Brown, Freddie Munnis, them. They talk about over the hill had entertainment. We want to go back to that more, and you provide more in Triple North because people in East Street area could make money, put their business together up in the Wolfroad, all that area. Everybody make money equally, and everybody entertaining truly. But then we just talking. We got in that 50 years, man, right there. That don't make no sense to me, man.
Definitely.
That's sad.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Have a good day.
You too.
You too.
All right. So a friend sends this. You talking about rails? They can't even repair the roads. You're fancy.
We're calling them higher.
Right. We got to aspire to better.
Yes.
But see, that's holding so much of us back because you're thinking of something better, but people say, but you're talking about that, but we can't maintain this. So how could we ever get to that? And then we end up stuck here
we
for
get
50,
stuck.
60, 70 years.
And I think there's so many experienced minds and people in not just with wisdom, but people with skills that are able to execute if given the opportunity. And that opportunity can only be created when we have a proper plan for all of these things that we're talking about, and we are including the voice of the people. You're listening to what the people are saying that they need and they want, and then you're figuring out how do we execute some of these things, right? And that's how you get buy-in from your citizenship as well. So, it's possible to be done. It's just, are we willing to step outside of the norms and do things differently?
Yeah. This text here, one recommendation, get the taxis off Bay Street. We have a call-up system at the airport. Pick any side street and move them there. Okay, you could do that. I mean, they have something at the port. But, I mean, generally, in other parts of the world, taxis rotate or drive around, and when somebody hails a cab, you stop and pick up the fare, right? They work for their fares. It's not... people coming to them.
You come out your building in New York taxi.
Right.
So.
But we want spoon.
I wonder why
feeding here.
Texter made that suggestion. I think I'd like to hear more Texter.
Get the taxis. Oh, we agree. Get the taxis off. There's no parking, mainly because of them.
Could be. Yeah.
Right. It's a disaster. Why would you have parking for taxis?
And so many designated spots for taxis. I don't know if you noticed that. It's a majority of them.
It's loading and taxis.
And taxis.
That's it.
Another system that needs to be revamped.
Ah, boy. Oh man, see, everyone's bringing up all these excuses about how can we talk about those things in the future when we can't trim the trees and keep the power on. Let's see what
Well, it's all a work in progress, right? And because things aren't working out the way that we want them now, doesn't mean that we can't project and have a vision for what we'd like the future to be like. I agree that we do need more accountability in getting things that we can action done, because there are some things that can be done. And we need to get those things actioned so that people can have a little bit of hope that we can move forward if they begin to see these smaller, low-hanging things, some action being taken towards those as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. This text, please leave the police and defense force bands out of any plans for a proposed new park in the Bay Street area. The members of those bands already have more than enough to do. Use other musicians instead. Yeah.
I like the police force band. They somehow add a touch of...
There'll be enough for everybody to do. Definitely.
On a schedule, not every day.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
30 minutes once a week, maybe.
A caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Mr. Strachan.
Hi.
To your guests.
Good morning.
Morning.
I think they should think about creating a cultural lane. You know, that property that they use for parking for the Independence celebration, across from the beach? I think it's owned by B.O.B. They cleared it down. They should probably make that culture lane, restaurants, cafes, live entertainment, artists.
Where is this?
You know, when you're going west.
Is it across
but do you mean you're getting away from downtown?
No, but the whole idea is so the orange economy, you can develop something different that tourists can go with live entertainment daily. I mean, authentically Bahamian.
Why can't we do that on Bay Street?
Yeah, but everything is on Bay Street. That's what you want to create.
Nothing on Bay Street. There's nothing on Bay Street.
I mean, that's where you want to create something different, because it's always going to be meddled with, really. Bay Street, I think you can't fix that.
No.
I think we should create something
We can
different.
fix it.
Yeah. Culturally.
We can fix it.
Right there.
Whatever you want to call it, culture lane, entertainment district, whatever it is, but we can do it on Bay Street. We've got nothing happening east of East Street. There's
When you
nothing.
consider parking...
all that can be factored into it. We've got a lot of abandoned buildings, a lot of space. Is more than you think.
You
lot
know
can
the
be
problem
done.
I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, well, you're getting off. That's West Bay Street now.
It's not far. It's been walking distance. Tourists walk.
You know, I
down
think
to
there's probably room
65.
for both of it.
Yeah.
There's probably where you could
They
do
walk
that there.
But I think it'd be something you can build, something like a Zombie Village used to be in that area. Cost,
Fine, somebody
Hey,
do
that's
it.
food for thought. I mean, I don't think we have to put everything on base.
Okay.
It's still within that touristic area.
Yeah, but
So what are you saying with East to East Street? Just leave it alone.
Oh man, I
There's
personally,
nothing-
I give it one.
No, you
they
can't
didn't talk to
give
that.
up on anything. Don't give up.
Dwight, we can create something else. Let them deal with Bay Street.
Who's them? No one's dealing with it.
And that's where a lot of our tourists are as well. They come right off the port.
It
and
looks
they're walking-
horrible.
they're
I mean,
walking
unless
the
you
Bay
want to
Street.
build a big wall around it and tell people it's the
Dwight, the only way you can do
forbidden
it is
zone.
drastic measures. Go and break down all the buildings.
Yeah, I agree. Do it.
You can't. It's not talking to do nothing. If you can do it, do it.
Yeah, who's you? Because I want to do it. I want to blow everything up. Yeah,
Well, let me
absolutely.
do it then.
Let's
Let me
do it.
Take them first.
Yeah, and hopefully we won't be the only two, but let's do
Y'all
it.
go with sledgehammers.
Let's
You
get
see
a
what they-
tractor.
You see what they
and
did with the statue guy, right?
Yeah.
With Michael.
Yeah.
All right, Dwight.
Okay, thanks
Thank
a lot.
you.
When I look back to see who's behind me when I'm on the bulldozer, I'm the only one there.
Yeah, definitely. Bay Street needs a lot of attention.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
The number of tourists and the number of cruise passengers they're expecting, the number of Bahamians looking for things to do.
Yeah.
There will be enough people
Yeah.
for all of this. The area that you're talking about, east of East Street, this is how thriving downtowns look.
Yes.
There's always, in different parts of the city, something going on.
Correct.
And,
Choices.
yeah.
Because people want different things.
Right. Some people will want a
right.
laid-back pub
Yeah.
where there is a band playing every night, and they have a special guest performer tonight. And I can get my food here and all that stuff. People are going to love that, and some people will want something a little
Correct.
more beachy. Sure. But right now, we don't have any of those options down there.
Yeah.
None of them. Call us 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free 242-300-5720. All right, some more of your text messages before we take a break. This person says here, what's that? Nope, not that one. What does the caller want the bus drivers to do? Hold it in? They need to relieve themselves.
On the walls and in the bushes with a bus full of people watching?
You serious with this text?
Wow.
Well, that's what we're saying, right? You need a real bus terminal
correct.
where the number of buses are not blocking up Bay Street.
Yeah.
Where buses pull in, you know which bus to go on. There's a list of the schedule. You can get something to eat. You can use the bathrooms. You can do this stuff. It's a proper,
And wash your
sensible looking.
hands.
Oh my God! Right? You can do stuff.
Yeah.
What we don't like to be civilized.
Yeah.
We like to keep it real, right? Just go where you want to go, anywhere, anytime, any place, in a cup, pour it out on the street. Yeah, that's okay. Let's go to the break on that note. We've got more to talk about with downtown in a bit. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
At Alive, we believe that every common loftier goal is within our reach. We believe in the essence of our identity, the richness of our history, and the boundless potential that lies within us. That's why our network is built by, owned by, and managed by us. Alive, believe in Bahamians. Visit bealive.com to take advantage of our golden independence deals. Alive, believe in best.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
The Bahamas Public Parks and Public Beaches Authority invites all private companies and civic organizations to adopt a roundabout. This is your chance to stand out from the crowd, beautify and enhance our local areas for residents and tourists alike, just in time for the 50th anniversary of our independence. With this opportunity, you can engage persons on the go, generate media interest, and promote your company. Stand out and celebrate 50. For more information, you can call 242-604-3750.
Are you dreaming of the perfect summer getaway? Apply for a debt consolidation or personal loan to win an airline ticket to Paris, Miami, or New York. Win up to $2,500 in cash and more. For details, call 356-7764 for Nassau, 602-6811 for Freeport, 823-4374 for Abaco.
Indulge in an experience that awakens your senses with Nescafe Gold. Premium Arabica coffee beans, carefully selected, roasted to perfection, and finely ground, resulting in a unique and unmatched flavor and aroma that captivates the senses. Enticing aroma, smooth taste. Elevate your coffee experience with Nescafe Gold.
You've tried everything. ASUS with your mother's cousin's sister's auntie, and even hiding your money under your mattress. But is your money safe? Your Bahamian dollar deposit in a member bank or credit union is insured up to $50,000. If anything happens, your deposit up to the insured value will be returned to you thanks to Deposit Insurance. Visit Deposit Insurance Corporation at www.dic.bf.
Protection for your money guaranteed with DIC.
It is time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. 5 months after Prime Minister Philip Davis tabled the long-awaited Public Finance Management Bill 2023, Opposition Leader Michael Pintard is concerned that the Fiscal Responsibility Council is not fulfilling its legal mandate. In a letter to the Prime Minister, Pintard presented 5 questions for the Office of the Prime Minister to respond to immediately. He's asking what is the status and current membership of the FRC, that's the Fiscal Responsibility Council, who is the current chairperson of the FRC, and when was he or she appointed? Do the members of the FRC continue to receive a stipend? If not, when was the last date that they received a stipend? When will the 3 tardy legally mandated reports, one of which is more than a year late, be published? And what specific steps are your ministries taking to ensure that moving forward, the council is able to publish its reports in a timely manner as required by the law? In January, Pintard noted that the Fiscal Strategy Report 2022 was yet to be published, though by law it should have been made public in November 2022. He added the Ministry of Finance has not published the most recent monthly or quarterly fiscal reports on government's fiscal performance. And 2 weeks after a fire destroyed the Bahamas Power and Light power plant in Nicholstown, Andros, President of the Andros Chamber of Commerce, Darren Bethel, says that businesses continue to suffer major losses in sales and revenue. Bethel telling Guardian Business that businesses are being affected, including seamstresses, bakeries, and smaller grocery stores where they need power to operate. Bethel says he's talked to a couple of business owners who are saying their sales are down a lot, especially those with perishable items. Overseas, Americans increased their spending modestly last month as inflation eased in many areas and the job market remains remarkably strong. Retail sales rose 0.2% from May to June, a bit smaller than what analysts were expecting. The gain followed a revised 0.5% increase the previous month. The Commerce Department issuing a report today, excluding autos and gas, sales rose a modest 0.3%. Sales at grocery stores fell 0.7%, while business at clothing stores rose 0.6%. At restaurants, sales rose 0.1%. Online sales rose 1.9%. The uptick in sales follows an increase in May that pointed to an economy that remains resilient despite rising prices. Yet spending has been volatile this year after surging nearly 3% in January. Sales tumbled in February and March before recovering in April and May. There is some evidence of a pushback from consumers to the prices they've been paying elsewhere. That has been reflected in financial reports from food producers like PepsiCo and Conagra Foods. U.S. data on inflation, the most recent arriving last week, showed that consumer inflation reached its lowest point since early 2022. Prices rose just 0.2% from May to June, thanks to easing prices on gasoline, airline fares, used cars, and groceries. Inflation is just up 3% over the past 12 months, but Americans are still facing surging prices for some goods and services as well, like auto insurance. And from the UK, interest rates have risen rapidly in recent months, which in turn has ratcheted up mortgages and rents across the United Kingdom. Rates have hit 5% after being below 1% for the last decade, as the Bank of England has tried to bring down the highest inflation in the group of 7 major economies. As is often the case, the poorest households are bearing the brunt. The rate hikes have led to the biggest fall in household wealth in Britain since World War II, according to new research from the Resolution Foundation think tank. Unlike the United States, where many mortgages are fixed up to 30 years, UK homeowners are more exposed to changes in the cost of borrowing because a large percentage of them have loans that need to be renewed every 2 or 5 years. Around 2.5 million such deals are due to expire by the end of next year, with around 1 million households facing a £500 or $655 a month increase in their average mortgage payments by 2026. That's put pressure on a number of people, and Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, whose hold on power is tenuous ahead of a likely general election next year, making it more expensive to borrow is how higher interest rates help lower inflation. People potentially spend less, reducing demand and pressure on prices. Though inflation has eased from a double-digit peak last year, it's still stubbornly high in the UK at 8.7%, and the central bank is expected to keep hiking rates already at a 15-year high. That has led to mounting fears of the UK economy sinking into recession. Many landlords facing higher mortgage payments want to pass on those costs to renters, and a dearth of rental options not helping the situation there either. Closer to home, in your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Monday. Your market movers, Bank of the Bahamas, moving 6,100 shares, closing up 20 cents to 4.20. Cable Bahamas moving 5,000, down 3 cents to 4.15. Colina Holdings moving 1,000, up 88 cents to $10. Doctors Hospital moving 500, down 35 cents to 10.25. Consolidated Water down 8 cents to 4.10. And Emira Incorporated down 2 cents to $10.05. The BISX All Share Index closing at 2,563.96. up 10.89. That's your Market Watch. And that is your Morning Business Report, brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Was a deep sea diver, and when I want to pass, I would mash the gas. I was a taxi driver. I say I was a taxi driver. I was a deep sea diver, and when I want to pass, I would mash the gas. I was a taxi driver. Now tourists don't really know our country, how this thing go. A car coming on the other side between the...
We're back here with Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Duquesa Dean. We're talking about downtown Nassau, what's being proposed for now, and what we're hoping to hear as well. Getting your reaction to it. It's a lot coming up about downtown, also buses and taxis. So it's becoming a wide-ranging topic, and oh boy, the bus conversation has led to public urination conversations. And I've got this message now. Dwight, it's cultural for Bahamian men to pee anytime and anywhere the urge hits. Not all do it, but enough practice that bad habit. We had to break my little nephew out of it. He said his daddy pees anywhere, so why can't he? Oh, Lord.
Lord. I agree. We need to break people out of it.
I've seen women encourage their sons to
just go anywhere. Wow.
Yeah. It may be worse with the women,
wow.
Actually. But, boy, yeah. Well, that's why it smells like that downtown, right?
Correct.
It certainly smells like people are using it as a toilet.
Yeah.
And we wonder why we have these low ratings when it comes to people rating the port, the downtown area as a place to visit, right?
Yeah.
Now you have to tell the story you told me off air. A bus story. People listen carefully to this.
Yeah, so no, I had a guest reach out to me to ask me how to catch the bus from the airport to my residence. I had some people coming to stay. Mm-hmm. And, I believe, again, not fact-based, but I believe that the Europeans are more adventurous. They walk a lot more.
Mm-hmm. And these were Europeans.
These were Europeans. Mm-hmm. And so I had no idea how to catch the bus from the airport because, I almost thought it was an impossibility. But another lady who works with me said, well, tell them that they need to walk out to the main road. They'll catch this particular bus. When they catch this particular bus,
walk out from the airport to the main
road. And then they need to catch this, look for this bus number.
With their luggage?
remember. Yeah, with the luggage. Okay. That's going to take them all around Lyford Key all the time. When they get downtown, they must get off where the bus is. I think that's Frederick Street, what that road is. I think that's Frederick Street. And then they must walk from there and tell them look for Huffers and go across the street from Huffers to the next bus terminal and look for bus number something again to get on Mackey Street. And I told my guests, jump in a taxi. Because the headache of trying to move from the airport by bus or knowing what bus routes to take, I mean, I live here and honestly, I don't know the bus routes. So just imagining my guests being lost somewhere in the city was not a real comfortable thought.
Probably end up on another island.
Right. So having a more structured transportation system with terminals and letting you know, one time ago, I think they used to have the signs out 10A go this place or 1A. I don't know the bus number.
Sure that wasn't a dream?
No, I think it's on some of the buses, right? But I don't see them anymore. So if I had to catch the bus today, I would be lost.
Yeah. But I mean, look at that. So people from other parts of the world, they're thinking that there are often affordable, more affordable options. They expect that, right? Because that's just how it is, right?
Yeah.
Why can't I strap my luggage to the back of the bus and
right? Because that's what they're accustomed to. It's what they're used to.
If I want to pay more, I would catch a taxi or something else, take one of these limos. But if I'm on a budget, can't I? Nope. No, you can't. Not around here. You got to spend all your money.
Yeah.
And that's for locals and anybody else as well.
Yeah. So a proper transportation system is definitely
we are
needed.
Finding ways between electricity bills and transportation, every single way to take every dollar you have.
Yep.
And we seem to be fine with it. And then we wonder why.
No, we complain about it. We talk about it. We complain about it. Well, we just either don't believe that anything else is possible. We don't want to take the radical action that's required to bring change. And so we just keep doing the same things over and over
and wondering why the crime rate is high, why people are getting robbed, why they're stealing bumpers and headlights and all these things. Yeah, because everything costs too much. Yeah. But it will all continue. Yeah. All the nonsense will continue until we really decide that we can't continue like this. That there's no reason for the way we do things. No reason why taxis cost so much. No reason for an ununified bus system. And I can't transfer from one bus to the other without having to buy a whole new fare. Well, what is this? And this is insane. But anyway. All right, so more on downtown. So apparently some downtown businesses expressed concerns about the cruise port passenger flow. Our Christelle Brown, again, writing about it. Some downtown business owners have expressed concerns with the new $300 million Nassau cruise port, claiming there has been a drop in business. What? Okay. Randy Roll, again, a global relations consultant with the Ministry of Tourism, said that that's one of the issues raised during a recent stakeholder meeting with downtown business owners. Have you been to the new port?
No.
No, not yet.
Okay. I drove past it, but I haven't been inside. I've seen pictures, and it looks really, really nice. But I agree with what Randy Roll is saying, that tourists come to the Bahamas to see the Bahamas. So they do want to see more than just the cruise port, and we have to give them a reason to come out. When you're on a cruise ship,
we certainly haven't done that,
right? Because I mean, when you're on a cruise ship, you're basically being told that this is not a safe city, or not to come off, or
even if you haven't been told that, when you come out of the cruise port, you're seeing what you see in every other port you're going to go to, but also what you see on the ship, because there's nothing but T-shirts and jewelry on the ship.
Correct.
So what am I coming to see?
Correct.
And where are the Bahamian restaurants that we talked about?
Correct.
Where are the pubs?
Food. Correct.
Where are the entertainers playing in the middle of the day? Where is that stuff?
Yeah. It's blatantly missing.
Oh, nowhere to be found.
And if you just research it, you'll see a lot of cruise people are saying it's not worth coming off. So they're not even going any further than the straw market.
Plus, it smells like urine.
Yeah.
So, what's that about?
Yeah.
And the buses are everywhere.
Yeah.
And the taxis take up all the parking spots. So. What am I looking at? Anyway, but some people are surprised this drop in business. Wow. He said the executives of the port have resolved to address that concern within 10 days by opening a second gate for exiting cruise passengers. What? Oh, you think that's the problem?
Right. What does that do? Opening a second gate.
Okay.
What does that do? Seriously. They're still going to walk in the same direction because that's where they're being told to go. Like if you go down,
Y'all could knock down all the
Yeah.
gates. It won't
Yeah.
make a difference. Trust me, it won't. But anyway, that's what the things are making. Apparently, quote, there were a lot of persons in Zone 2, Frederick Street to Parliament Street, who have shops near Parliament Street and Parliament Square. When the flow from the cruise port started just heading down to Charlotte Street, there was a concern that they weren't flowing back to Parliament Street. So they were going from the port and heading in the western direction, going to Junkanoo Beach and to those other areas.
so how can we bring them?
So a lot of the
in
stores felt
other
significant
area?
decrease.
Yeah.
I don't mean to laugh, but this is hilarious.
No.
Okay.
And opening a gate isn't going
What
to.
store is it by Parliament Street?
Parliament.
Is it what, the fancy stores?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
More jewelry stores
okay,
and,
well,
and
that's what I
t-shirts.
thought.
Yeah, more jewelry stores and t-shirts.
Oh, my.
So, yeah. But if they had some entertainment to draw people in that direction, that would be a no-brainer.
Wow. Ahead of the opening of the new port, some observers expressed fear that it would lead to less visitor traffic in the downtown area. However, Rolls said there is no evidence of that as yet. He said, quote, people are coming off. They're not staying in the cruise port. People are coming to see the Bahamas. Well, the Bahamas, okay. Not just the cruise port. The port itself, even though it's a beautiful environment, isn't the Bahamas. People want to see what else there is. Yikes.
And we have to give them that.
That's what they're seeing downtown?
Right. We have to give them something.
We should tell them this ain't the Bahamas.
You know, we
It's
should give
it's
them
just
something.
the capital, Bahamas. But it's not it's not the Bahamas. No. Y'all need to get far from here to see the Bahamas.
Yeah.
For God's sake.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay. Roll said the Surrey drivers, which are stationed on the eastern end of Rawson Square, have also reported a drop in business.
You
However,
can't really see them too. Really, seriously. I don't even know if there's I can't remember if there's proper signage. I know where they are, but I don't think that they are as visible. And again, there's nothing drawing people that way. There's nothing, you know.
And they are, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Close to East Street.
Right.
So I'm sorry for them.
They're literally on the junction of East Street and Bay.
But if there was a plan for East of East Street, it would be a very different story.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me. Let's hear what you have to say about that, folks. I really don't mean to laugh at their plight, but, you know, we could see this coming. We knew this was going to happen. We've caused this on ourselves, and now we're looking foolish. Caller, what say you on this? Good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are you all this morning?
Doing well.
Okay, Dwight, if you remember some time ago, I gave you an idea and I said to look at it about Freeman Street in Las Vegas.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, that will be the perfect idea with a behemoth spin for that portion of downtown.
Yeah.
But I have another idea. Why don't we just think outside of the box and get some private partnership agreement? And let's think about making let's call it the old Bay Street, make it a historical site, renovate those buildings, make them shops. You can make them restaurants, green spaces. But let's go from Nassau Street, heading west, all the way to Saunders Beach, roundabout. Let's make that the new Bay Street. The space is there. The infrastructure will easily be able to be put in because you have the space, okay? And some of the buildings that already exist on that particular western end of Bay Street will remain because some of those buildings are new buildings also, okay? We have to start thinking
you could do that.
If we keep doing the same thing and want a different result,
But you have, I agree with you, that sounds great. But you have the same amount of space east of East Street to go from east of East Street to the bridge.
That is, we have property owners,
Yeah,
shop
who cares?
owners.
Who cares?
They're waiting on the government
No.
to do the majority of the work.
We're done with
and then
them.
they will invest into their
No. We're done with that. We're gonna. It's too late now. Too bad. Too late. Too sad.
Do you
Too.
realize those property owners don't pay taxes at this time? Do you realize that?
I don't care about them. We have to do what we have to
we have
do.
to care because
No, we don't have to. They didn't care about us, and we don't care about them.
Yeah,
It's
but I'm
time
saying to you,
for the
sir,
government to
if we
act.
put some
Take
ordinance on
the
them in order to
property.
collect some revenue, then that's fine. But
Yeah.
we are not collecting anything from them, and it's
So we just can't let it sit there until they do something.
And that's the problem.
We can't just wait on them.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm
Yeah.
saying we need to find some sort of initiative to put some ordinance on them so in order for the government to collect some taxes in order to help assist in renovating Bay Street if that's what they really want to do.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I hear you. Everyone just wants to abandon the area. We can't. We can't. And if they're not going to cooperate, then they're going to get out. We have to get them out, right? The same type of talk that people are using about Freeport and the Port Authority. I don't understand how everyone's so sensitive about these clowns on east of East Street. It doesn't make sense.
And why do they hold the power?
Like, what is happening here?
Yeah.
Because if
they're crippling, they're holding the power and crippling the development.
Everything I had, if I were standing in the way of something. Just what's this about? No, if they're not going to do what we need them to do, then they need to go go with nothing. Go with nothing. It's time. We've got that whole area from there to the Sydney Poitier Bridge. The potential is ginormous. We cannot allow a few people
and why
to
is it
hold
being
back
allowed?
progress.
Correct. Why is it being allowed? We
Everyone's
need to question
being
that.
Too nice about this.
We need to question that.
No more appealing to them. Right? You have lost your opportunities. You're gone. It's over.
For years.
Ah, boy.
For years.
I don't understand it. Let's take another call. Good morning. You're on the air. Hi, good morning. Turn on your radio for us, please. Okay. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. But yeah, all over the place, people have a new part of the city and the classic old part, and that's a major tourist area, and you preserve that area, but you create a modern city. We've got lots of potential for modern parts of Nassau, West Bay and especially East Bay. We can do it. We can do it, but we do need the plan. And you cannot wait on the owners of the property. That you have to present the plan and tell them, this is the plan, voluntarily make your building fit into the plan or get out.
Because they're holding us hostage.
Because you're going to try to do classic something here, and they want to do Art Deco in the middle of your class.
Right.
Nope, you can't do it. This is what we want here. The Art Deco thing will be down there. You could go down there, sell this property, and go down there if you wish, or you're taking the property, whatever it is. But this is our plan. We're doing this. You need to get on board. If you don't want to do it, go away.
Correct. I agree.
But you've held us up long enough.
Years upon years.
We're the laughing stock of the area now. Come on.
And I mean, why is it allowed? You just sit on Bay Street with a building that's running down. It's empty, broken glass, not painted, pulling down the entire value of the area. Why is it being allowed? And it has to be addressed.
It's wild. A few messages as we're running out of time. This person says here, where are the bus routes and times published? On a napkin each day. That's probably where.
And the buses. I see some of the buses of the routes, they're individual routes, but like a master plan that says, no, I have not seen that anywhere.
I agree with the last caller with New Bay Street, but the problem with that is that the area floods very badly. And okay, so this is the thing, right? Get the engineers together. We have a lot of work to do. Get them. What can we do? What needs to be done? Do we need a canal? Do we need to dredge? Do we need to
clean the drains?
Something. What is it? Fix it now before we move forward. I used to work. Wait, no, what is this? I think. Oh, this is long. First, we have to think about or remember what caused the nightlife to disappear from downtown. I remember, firstly, the roads, Bay Street and Shirley Street were turned around. I don't think that was it. I don't know. Anyway, then all downtown parking spaces were given to the taxis, and that limited parking. Then the malls were built, which caused the paying people to slowly stop going downtown. I think your order's a little off, but anyway. But this was by design. This wasn't... It just so happened. This was by design. This is what people wanted. Anyway, soon shops started closing one by one and were replaced by T-shirt factories and souvenir shops, after which the tourists started staying on the ship because most restaurants had to close. Because the restaurants had closed the clubs, they didn't have many patrons. Lastly, the fights and murders started in and around the clubs, and people were afraid to go to the local clubs. We had clubs on Blue Hill Road, East Street, South, off Wolf Road, in the downtown down the hole on Bay Street, East Street, where the ship's crew used to go off the ship to hang out, and many other places, even Captain Nemo on Bay Street through DeVoe Street. Oh, I remember that name. Wow. But it was crime that finally ended the nightlife in Nassau. Yeah, well, you could always get a handle on that, right? But it just was allowed to happen.
Correct. It was
We
allowed.
just didn't do anything when you saw it happening. All these things, people, you saw it coming. You could have done something. This was intentional. I don't know what they got out of it, but this was intentional.
Yeah.
I used to work downtown during the 80s. There was so much tourists there until there wasn't enough space, enough walking space. Tourists didn't want to go in a club full. Tourists used to say they wanted to mingle with the Bahamian people.
Yeah, they want, and that's why I think a lot of them go down to Awaki now. They want to touch local. They want to eat local. They want to experience the local culture. So I do agree with that. Tourists want to see the local areas. Oh, man, I'm waiting to hear this one, Dwight. Just your facial expression.
I don't think I should read that here.
Okay.
Look at it. This is really not cool to bring that up with this, and it's not the same thing, and it's not cool at all. That's ridiculous.
Oh, no, that's
right?
not. No, we're not going to read that one. I agree.
Texter, you need help. You need help. Oh, boy.
They're not connected in any which way, but in any event. Yes. Something has to be done, and it's time for more action and less conversation.
And in this regard, no more Mr. Nice government, right? In this regard, we think it's acceptable to be aggressive and to even go over the top, I think, in this regard. You've been playing too much with these landowners, and they have shown no respect for any of us, and have been willing to see our tourism product collapse.
Yeah.
And they don't deserve to get any respect from us.
And they caused that side of Bay Street to die, literally.
It's terrible.
To die.
Terrible.
To die, literally.
So stop playing and really take the action now.
Yeah.
They've had more than enough notice.